who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, check. That's check. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and we'll welcome you into the chat.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about. One, and I feel like this is the number one story. Man, that was fun for the Miami Dolphins, wasn't it? You had a week where we're going to go undefeated. We're the greatest offense ever. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills announcing their presence with authority.
Yeah.
You think you own this division now? Whap.
Yeah, I'm going to re-reference Foghorn Leghorn and that dog that hangs his butt out of the doghouse. Pow, 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 pow. How'd that feel?
Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure that Cater co-host still doesn't actively know where Stephon Diggs is. He is asking, can we please put a tracker on him because he just annihilated Miami. Now, what does it mean? Should we be, oh no, Miami's awful? No, stop overreacting to everything that happened.
But that's exactly what we do. We overreact to everything that we see. And when we see the Miami Dolphins just blitz a team 70-20, you lose your minds and you go, oh my God.
Biggest swing in point differential for any team in the NFL since 1973.
No doubt.
The Atlanta Falcons beat somebody by 55 and then lost by 41 the next week.
Wow.
Miami, the biggest swing since then. And all I really learned, Buffalo is still not to be messed with because they figured out how to run the ball. Josh Allen's not having to do as much, but when he does, he's still got a cannon, and if you don't hit him, he can pick you apart because Stephon Diggs is still a dog.
But they needed this moment. The Buffalo Bills needed this moment, right?
I agree with you. I think the Miami Dolphins needed it more.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins needed to get their brains bashed out, and I mean that to the depths of my soul.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You needed to be humbled because you thought we were just playing video games out here. Oh, look, we can score 70 points. We got all this speed. Cool. Wait till you meet somebody that comes downhill and punches you right in your forehead, which is what they got.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills made them realize, oh, wait, our offensive line isn't the greatest in the world.
No, this is what happens. And if you remember when we previewed this game on Friday, I said Tua has not been hit very often. And if you go back to Alabama, the beginning of his career in Miami, the path to righteousness to getting to the Miami Dolphins and affecting that offense is to get to Tua Tagovailoa. That's what Buffalo did, and very quickly it became obvious. Mike McDaniel does not have a counterpunch here. Devin, I'm never going to. A-Chan. Why can you not just tell us that before the draft? Like, don't let us call you A-Chain for 2 years because now that's all I want to call you. He was good. He was effective. The running game is still good. But when you put it all on Tua, it became very obvious. This is not as hard to stop as everybody thinks it is.
Yep.
You're worried about how we're lining up with Tyreek Hill, how we're lining up with Jalen Waddle, who was largely irrelevant yesterday. Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Get home. When you get home, good things happen.
Look, if you thought the Miami Dolphins were going to go undefeated because they put up 70 on Denver last week.
Secret time, the Denver Broncos are awful.
Yeah. But I can't help you, right? That's that scenario of, you really shouldn't lose your minds too much about 1 week to the next in the NFL.
That's
because
what I
the
said when you were
Dallas
talking about the
Cowboys
spread.
are perfect proof of you can't trust anybody 1 week to the next.
Oh, we're going to talk about that a little later in this hour.
Right. But they come out and they blitz their first two opponents of the season, and then they get caught by the Arizona Cardinals, and then they come out the next week and just blitz somebody else. And then did we ever think Dallas was going to go undefeated? No. Miami, same way. Every team gets caught.
Well, I mean, I told you this when we were picking the games with the Asheville Police Chief David Zach. By the way, Tank, hubris comes shortly before the fall.
It does.
Woof.
It does.
That was a bad old bad one for you.
Only got me by two games.
I didn't say I was great. I just said you were real bad.
I had a Jeremy week. It's okay.
And now I just look at Miami. Where do you have them in the AFC? After this game, where are they now?
I don't know. 3, 4.
They're still my one.
Okay.
They're still my one.
Okay.
Kansas City is very close.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is very close.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a pretty significant drop-off. And then you get into the Baltimores and the Clevelands and a handful of other teams. Whatever is happening in the AFC South, because that entire division is Gary Busey drunk.
Indeed. You know what I
Buttered
do know?
sausage. That's what I want to talk about, buttered sausage.
You know what we should talk about? A Victory Monday. I mean, come on.
Oh,
We're
God.
just out here and we just urinate excellence each and every day.
Your team,
Baker Mayfield,
your team's
just out here
on
doing stuff.
Your team's on the list. We'll get to you eventually. In the third hour where you belong with all the other things that don't particularly matter.
Yeah, no doubt. Ugh.
This is when you told me the line didn't make sense. And the only thing I said to you was what? If you take away Denver,
Mm-hmm.
you take away the fact they just scored 70 points, this line makes all the sense in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Buffalo came out here and punched you in the mouth. You know why? Because they're more used to being in situations like this than you are. They know how to handle success. And I use that with bunny ears because they've never won a Super Bowl. They've never even been to a Super Bowl. But you've had these expectations for a long time. Then this gets heaped on Miami, and weird, you throw a big grumper out there. Now, looking at their schedule moving forward, you get the Giants, Panthers, Patriots in 3 of the next 4 games.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be a whole mess of points to very few. You get Jalen Phillips back. I'm not going to greatly overreact here. I think the offense is prodigious. Sean McDermott came out with a really good game plan, and that stadium was insane. Mm-hmm. That might be the loudest I've ever heard Buffalo.
Whoa. Are you giving Sean McDermott, or you're giving McDermott credit here?
I'm giving him credit for having a really good defensive plan.
Okay, all right.
Because, look, Miami came out and scored.
You don't say very many nice things about him, so that's why I wanted to make sure here.
Oh, I mean, I could say a lot of things about him. For a Baldman, he has a less than awkward-looking head.
Oh.
He only kind of still looks like Opie Taylor's brother. He's not the worst coach of a really great team. Zach Taylor. Excuse me. We're going to get to that, too, later here in the program. Buffalo is good. And getting Von Miller back, that Jets loss is odd. In spite of last night, which we're going to talk about because I'm still very confused. I don't know.
Very angry.
I don't know who the hell that was wearing Zach Wilson's jersey, but he's tied up in a coat closet somewhere because that wasn't him.
Right.
But I look at Miami and go, you know what? You're going to have to figure out how to deal with pass rush because you hadn't really dealt with that outside of the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Denver has nothing that scares you that way. And the Patriots really don't have much that scares you that way. But even Matthew Judon, that one guy, that was enough to keep you from being the track meet team that you had been in the other 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to come up with a second punch. The good thing is that you got Raheem Mostert, who is still healthy through 4 weeks. You got Devin Achane, who looks real good.
Yeah. That'll be the last week I don't play him, by the way.
Yes, he's an every week starting fantasy football from here on out.
Because I thought, last week it was kind of bootsy. You know, I mean, they're not going to do that to everybody. And then, well, no, Mike McDaniel figured it out. He figured out he's good at football.
Yeah, one of my favorite stats of yesterday was that Devin Achane had 2 carries for 13 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was before they went, hey, we should do that more often, which is real consistent. It allows me to say that. Run the damn ball! I'm going to say that a lot of times today.
Uh-huh.
Specifically about one team in green that makes me angry.
I thought you didn't care anymore.
I didn't, and then I did. And then it's weird. I did.
They sucked me back in.
They brought me right back in.
The Buffalo Bills. Look, were we doubting them? After they lost to the Jets, yes. Yes, I was a little taken aback by that, as I think we all were. And then you couldn't put anything in, or I couldn't put anything into them just demolishing the Raiders and the Commanders.
Well, I mean,
woo, good for you. Let's go.
Oh yeah,
but I did. I did.
And you should.
Admit,
that was incredibly impressive.
I overreacted to Miami.
I would agree with that. I would say Miami and Buffalo are still a 1A and 1B.
Yes.
When they play in Miami, am I going to be shocked if Miami comes out and beats them? No, I'm not, because I think in terms of talent, you're pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
The Tre'Davious White injury yesterday for Buffalo, that's a big deal. That's something you're not hearing a lot of people talk about. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie Elam, apparently he just doesn't play football anymore, because I think he's been on their inactive report for 2 solid years. And you look down the rest of that team, I mean, there's a lot of Christian Benford and Dane Jackson and Taron Johnsons that, okay, you've got a slew of teams on this schedule that it's going to be a problem that you don't have that number 1 corner.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But when you can rush the passer like that, it really mitigates a lot of those problems.
But you're living on a prayer, right? You're hoping that these younger guys will be able to develop quickly.
Well, you've drafted well because every one of these guys was either a late round draft pick or an undrafted guy. They've all shown to be at least respectable NFL corners.
Mm-hmm.
You have quite some time to figure this out because your next 4 are Jacksonville in London. They're just hanging out there with their tea and crumpets after that was ugly. That London game. Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can play the Giants, New England, Tampa Bay. That should be 4 easy cupcake wins. And I'm going to level with you. Then you have Cincinnati, Denver, and the Jets. Those should be all wins. The Buffalo Bills should be 10-1.
Wait. How did we get them again? Division winners, wasn't it?
Yeah,
God almighty.
Yeah, stop winning your stupid division.
We're not gonna. We're not gonna.
Or, I think you might. Because your division is bad.
That's what I'm saying. It's pissing me off,
yeah,
man.
It should, because you're gonna be the worst playoff team in the history of the NFL.
Again.
And then you're just gonna walk in and get just boat raced by somebody.
Again. How are we doing this again?
But the big takeaway here, Buffalo, Miami, don't overreact if you're the Dolphins. It's a good win for Buffalo. I feel like you got challenged because it almost felt like there was on the whole, we were putting a stake in Buffalo and saying, you're done. You're not really a contender anymore. And they heard that.
Mm-hmm.
When you punch a prize fighter in the mouth, don't be shocked when they come out swinging haymakers. And that's exactly what Buffalo did.
Yep.
Hey, your offense, really prodigious. Guess what? So is ours. And now we've got a running back that's pretty good at football.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get used much yesterday, but you didn't really have to, now, did you?
I do think the Tre'Davious White injury going forward is going to be a problem.
No doubt.
Because, I mean, that you have to have one, right? To be able to go far in this league, you have to have a number 1 corner that you can trust. Somebody that's not just going to, give it all up.
Oh, no doubt.
To whoever you play, and you got a lot of high-powered offenses coming down the line. Well, of course, some of them don't look great.
I was about to say, you have a lot of high-powered offenses in December, and 2 of them have to come to, or one of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Has to come to Buffalo.
But you got to figure something out, right?
Yeah, pass rush. You add Von Miller. I don't think you actually have to do anything.
Really? Okay.
I think they're a lot like Travis Kelce's dating record. They got a whole bunch of threes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just his current dating record. So can you hide those guys with an elite pass rush? No doubt. No doubt. I think Buffalo's fine. It was really impressive. That's one of the best wins so far for any team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
At the quarter pole, the Buffalo Bills have done exactly what they needed to, minus one really fluky loss to the New York Jets the same night they lost their quarterback, and everything was – it just seemed like the fates were in their favor that night.
Chaos, yeah.
9 out of 10 times you win that game, you'd be 4-0. We'd be having a different conversation right now. But you showed exactly what you are last night, and nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
We got our first one of these of the day. Nope, that's not how that's supposed to work. Oh, I got too many buttons, Tank. There it is. It's from our buddy, Soaring Eagle. Said, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Russell Wilson's MVP. Let the false hoop consume me whole. Really? Buddy, you were messaging me in the second quarter yesterday going, fire everybody, burn the building down, lock it up, and light it on fire. And then you came back and beat the Bears.
Yeah.
Calm down.
And
okay?
Russell Wilson's now your MVP.
You got a humbling experience coming next week at the hands of the New York Jets.
Maybe you can score points now. Let's wait and see.
We're going to talk about it. I need some time to get my thoughts together of what we witnessed. But we will get to it before this show's over.
This is the Sportsocracy. It's an Overreaction Monday here in the Ingles studio.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's battle for the belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate. The best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
It's ESPN Asheville. We are the Sportsocracy, the Democratic Republic of Sports. Overreaction Monday. And
here's an overreaction.
Are the Cincinnati Bengals terrible at football?
It ain't got no gas in it.
They're not good.
I don't get it.
I feel like something has happened, and I'm not real sure that I can put my thumb on it. This is not just Joe Burrow's hurt. They got annihilated by a horrifically bad Tennessee Titans offense.
Mm-hmm.
We were telling people in the fantasy show, sit Derrick Henry, because why would they not have 8 people in the box? Their receivers yesterday were DeAndre Hopkins, respectable. Nick Westbrook-Akina, good call by Armchair Commentary, our resident Canadan.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Moore, Chikakonkwo, who finally got involved, Josh Wiley, and Colton Dowell. That smoked you like a honey ham. It is really time to have a realistic conversation that, maybe this is not going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, we had a whole lot of AFC North fans in our chat that were saying the Bengals are awful. And we said, no, overreaction.
Mm-hmm.
You're several weeks in a row. You're overreacting. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, now that molehill has gotten bigger. And woof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it obviously doesn't hurt that Joe Burrow's injured. The calf plays a factor into it because
no doubt.
he's not as mobile, and he doesn't have the ability, it looks like, to get the ball down the field.
No.
And
at this point, you do not have to worry about the deep half against Cincinnati because he can't get the ball there.
And that's the thing that killed you, right? How many explosive plays did Cincinnati have in the last 2 years? How many of those?
Lot.
You're right. Like, how many of those 40 to 70-yard bombs were they throwing up huge numbers on these teams because that was the threat, right? It was Jamar Chase over the top. It was T. Higgins down the seam. Like, you were just sending the hellhounds.
And now you're in neutral.
Right.
How many 20-plus yard plays did they have offensively yesterday?
2. None.
0.
Wow.
Hard to win games in the NFL when you can't do that.
Yeah. Joe Burrow is slinging the ball an average of 6 yards.
Woo.
6 yards. That's all we can do is 6 damn yards? Like, let me channel Harry Doyle here. Why are we even here?
Well, I mean,
what are we doing?
I mean, and the thing that you really need to talk about with Joe Burrow is, do you know the list of quarterbacks that have been worse than him?
Who, give it to me?
Going by PFF grade over the course of the year, the only quarterbacks in the NFL that have been worse than him are Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, Justin Fields, Sam Howell, Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Kenny Pickett, Zach Wilson, Bryce Young, Desmond Ridder. And 5 of those dudes are horror awful.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Carolina.
Desmond Ridder.
Does Desmond Ridder have, like, naked pictures of Arthur Smith doing something horrible? Because that's the only explanation I have.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I used to think Arthur Smith was a smart man.
But
now
did too.
I think he's a dumb man.
Now I think he's a bad man that did something horrible, and Desmond Ridder got a picture of it. And now he's blackmailing him. You will keep me in this lineup, or people will know.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I have the picture. There's a clown and a goat and a ceiling fan, and it's bad.
Yep.
That's the only explanation I have.
But you have a scenario here where you have a quarterback that's extremely limited, and he's not able to keep up with the talent around him. How many times has Jamar Chase open over the last 4 weeks of the season? And he couldn't get him the ball. You've got a real problem. Oh, wait, and you tack on the fact that Joe Burrow's got an injured calf on the fact that the offensive line continues to struggle.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, this is the big problem with where Cincinnati's at. All right, so let's just say that you think it's all Joe Burrow. We're not putting any heat on Zach Taylor. We're not putting any heat on the running game. We're not putting any heat on the offensive line. It's all Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly do you think that's going to get rectified? If you sat him down right now, he would probably be 100% in 4 to 6 weeks. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. You physically cannot sit him down. There's somebody defending Desmond Ridder in our YouTube chat, and that's I have blood actively coming out of my ears.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I thought I had a stroke there for a second, but I can't believe you watched yesterday and you're defending that. But whatever.
Okay. You do you, Brian.
I'm looking at. Have you seen the schedule?
Let's see here.
It's not going to get better.
Mm-hmm. You go Arizona.
You got Arizona. Yeah, guess what? They fly around, and they've got a kid that I don't think his parents hooked him enough or something because he plays with his hair on fire.
And then you got Seattle.
That's not going to go particularly well.
Nope. Then you get a bye week.
Yay!
And then San Francisco on the road.
Who will hammer you.
Eesh.
Buffalo Bills who will hammer you. Houston Texans who can score points. Baltimore Ravens who are better than you. I mean, I hate to say this because I love this Cincinnati team, and I think Joe Burr is a great story. You're done like dinner. Mm-hmm. This season is over. And I don't know that there's anything you can do to change it. If you want to try, all right, we'll sit him down for the next 2 weeks, let him catch the bye, and hope, please, to all that's good and holy that calf is better.
Yep.
A month from now, you bring him back off a bye coming against San Francisco. There's just a lot of losses there. Mm-hmm. Even if you split the Cardinals and the Seahawks, you're sitting at 2-4 in an AFC where I think you're going to have to win 11 games to make the playoffs. So you don't have a whole lot of room for error, and you still got a game at the Chiefs. You still got to play the Browns, who annihilated you the first time you played.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm to the point of I think some of this should be falling on Zach Taylor. At some point, you have to make the difficult call of, all right, we're not going to win a lot of games without Joe Burrow, and we have to play Jake Browning. It's not going to be great. It's going to be better than this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be better than this where I don't have to worry about you 20 yards downfield. I'm putting 11 guys inside of 20 yards and just going, you're not going to beat me over the top. You have a Maserati sitting out here in Jamar Chase and a Porsche on the other side in T. Higgins, who is now hurt. And I'm not scared of either one of them. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but at some point you just have to go, woo, buddy. This ain't going to be our year. No. And I'm there with Cincinnati. I think a lot of people got to it quicker than I did.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really sit down and watch Joe Burrow yesterday. By the way, Red Zone Channel, I have missed you. Lord have mercy, have I missed you.
Did you have a religious experience yesterday?
I sat in my underoos on my couch for 7 hours of commercial-free football.
I don't feel like we needed that kind of detail, but
yeah. Here's the thing, I'm a wordsmith. Our buddy Chris Womack from WLOS, he said, I have a way with words based on something I said on Twitter last night. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you should go check it out on Twitter because I do say some funny stuff there from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the things that I would have said on our Uncensored show that we now don't have, but could be coming back.
Right. My question with Cincinnati probably at this point, I agree with you on Zach Taylor. Like, yeah, you got to be the big boy in the room. You got to make the decision on what we're going to do here. What's the path forward? I can't keep struggling with Joe Burrow like this, right? I can't keep doing this over and over again. Hoping
you're just not going to win
better.
Games this way.
No. And so, yeah, you got to make that decision. But I'm looking at the other side of the ball going, what happened? What happened with that defense? Why are you, I don't know. I guess I would have expected more.
You can't get off the field. I'll tell you a dirty little secret. So look at time of possession. As soon as you get on 5 minutes on either side of 30 minutes, you can assume that defense basically gets cut in half every 5 minutes that you're on the field.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Cincinnati's defense is bad, but when you keep getting put in bad situations because you had 14 total first downs the entire game, so you live on the field. And by the way, when you're on the field, you're having to deal with a 240-pound mountain that's coming at you full speed and is kind of irritated because the start of the season hasn't been great.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
But it is time to say there is definitively something wrong with the Bengals, and I don't think it's going to get better.
Yeah.
And I think it's better next year when you have Joe healthy and everybody's still in the fold. I mean, I've heard people talking about that the deal they gave him was bad because of how this started. That's insane.
Yeah, stop that.
He's still a great quarterback, but he's doing it on one leg.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's getting
who
hit
do you think he is,
lot.
Patrick Mahomes? Not everybody can play on one leg.
Michael Mulcair, I think I said that correctly, asked, are they running the ball with Joe Mixon? Not enough. Which seems to be a consistent problem with a lot of teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Did we just forget that running the ball that's kind of important?
Yeah, we did.
And Nathaniel Hackett did.
Because why?
Your face makes me angry.
But why does that happen?
I don't know.
I mean,
Joe Mixon keeps this offense on pace because you are you stay on time when you give Mixon the ball because he's averaging a little over 4 yards a clip.
Mm-hmm.
You have a diminished quarterback. He's doing that with more people in the box than he has probably seen in the last 3 years since Joe Burrow came here. And then you just forsake him.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging less than 15 touches a game. That's dumb. That's dumb. And that's on Zach Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Callahan's calling the plays. Okay, which one of you is the big dog? Because that's Zach Taylor.
I just, look, it can't possibly be part of this whole, hey, this is a passing league now, right? It can't be part of this whole running backs are dispensable thing.
Well, running backs are dispensable, but you still have to run the ball.
I understand.
And there
but
are
I'm
about
saying
10 teams in this league that seem to forget that.
But I feel like that's where we're at. Everybody is forsaking the run game for the passing game. I don't know. It kind of feels very Golden State Warrior-y to me.
Brian Buchanan in the YouTube comment said, this is why running backs deserve to be paid. I don't dispute that. Yeah, they deserve to be paid because they're really important. And there are a handful of 1 and 3 teams right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, this Cincinnati team, that I can look at least one game on your schedule and go, if you had stopped with this pass happy, we're going to throw 4 out of every 5 plays. At worst, it's 3 out of every 4.
Mm-hmm.
If you would stop doing that, your record would be better than it is right now. And that falls on some play callers that just get, I don't know. You get intoxicated by pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Cincinnati going, this ain't hard to figure out.
It's the addiction to speed that everybody has. Just like I was getting ready to say with this feels Golden State Warrior-y. You know how they changed the NBA just jacking up threes and everybody went, oh, we can score a lot of points doing that. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened with the NFL is everybody's like, oh, we can push it down the field. We can score all these points. Well, sometimes you have to do the important things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to do the fundamentals, right?
Sometimes you have to just stay on schedule and run the damn ball.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure dominating our weather this week. Sunny and warm out there this afternoon. Temperatures into the low part of the 80s. Clear skies here tonight. Patchy late night fog, low to mid 50s. Patchy morning fog Tuesday, Wednesday. Otherwise more sunshine and remaining warm. Highs up around 80 degrees both afternoons. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday with a high near 80. Mostly cloudy, slightly cooler Friday with a slight chance of showers, mid 70s. I'm Ken Boone with the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
This new Wendy's Frosty flavor is way too exciting to keep under wraps. It's a brand new, first-of-its-kind flavor. Get this, pumpkin spice. I know, right? It's so good. It's rich, it's cozy. It's the perfect flavor for some fall frosty time. Watch, everyone will see it and jump on the bandwagon. Grab a never-before-seen Pumpkin Spice Frosty or Pumpkin Spice Frosty Cream Cold Brew today when you choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Welcome back into Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. And, so yesterday morning. All right, so yesterday I went down to Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium, for the Panthers and the Vikings game. And I didn't get to see all that I wanted to see of the event of the day.
The event of the day.
It was the event of the day.
It was not the event of the day. It was a glitchy mess.
It was Toy Story football. Toy Story football, which, other than one article from some geezer from Sports Illustrated, all of the reviews that I have seen have been positive about
it. Was fine. Children liked it.
Yes.
I'm going to close this show with a plea to the NFL. And it has something to do with your Toy Story football, and it has something to do with trailer, which is apparently what we're calling Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, because we have to combine everybody's names, and it's stupid.
I love that.
It's
trailer is so great.
Yeah, there's going to be a trailer.
Look, all right.
They had a little Slinky Dog.
Doubts.
He was the
chains.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was a very cool effect. I thought it was cool the way that they had integrated, all the toys into it and all the characters and stuff. It was for kids. So, I mean, of course, it wasn't going to keep adults' attention. But
it kept more adults' attention than I thought it would.
Well, I mean, yeah. I would have been watching it every single second if I had been in a place where I could, but I was driving and I couldn't. But my litmus test for this was when I got home, because I told my kids, I was like, hey, you might be they got roughly an interest in football. One of them played for a season, but I can't really get them to sit down and watch a game. I got home and I said, did you guys get up this morning? Did you watch the game? Yes, we watched it. It was really cool, blah, 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 blah. And then they started telling me things about the game, like actual facts about Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars were up 17-0 at halftime, and that's when it clicked for me, and I went, you know what? It worked. It worked. Whatever your goal was to get kids interested, it worked.
And that's fine. And here's what I learned. All right. I'm a scholar of the game. I don't claim to be the smartest man, but I'm a pretty smart man. I did learn that Desmond Ridder looks almost as bad as a cartoon as he does in real life.
Good.
But if you want to take some of the pain away, if you animate him, I'm assuming Atlanta Falcon fans went, this is stupid. And it makes me sad. That this is,
You're trying to make me happy, and I'm not feeling happy about this.
I'm a sad man because our quarterback is a bad man.
Right. Michael Meadows has already sung its praises in the chat earlier. Kelvin Joyner says Toy Story football was fun. Now I want Madden to make a Disney Pixar football game, which they could make a lot of money on that.
That's actually really bright.
Absolutely.
Kelvin, you should copyright that and sell it back like Taco did with DallasCowboys.com on the league.
I mean, I imagine it would look a lot like the Madden that came out on the Wii. You remember that?
Oh, that was
terrible.
Yeah, as somebody that's I'm reasonably good at Madden, just keep it separate. You can do your little thing. It's fine. Just something for me. All right. I am the definition of how you got here.
And there will be and there will be plenty of stuff for the actual fan, and we'll still have the next gen broadcast, which I still feel like is the best thing on television.
Oh,
right now.
no doubt.
The next gen broadcast that Prime does on Thursday nights. I want to watch every game.
I do too. You're infringing on that thing I'm going to say at the end of the show.
I'm just saying. Look, we don't need this every week, but I think it was a good experiment. It got you some headlines. It got people talking about the NFL where maybe they wouldn't be, and it got kids interested. And that's
look, okay. I get why you did it. I don't need any of those things. I just want to watch the game.
Right.
Patrick Holt said I was born a 16-year-old Harry Angryman, so I don't get the kid nostalgia stuff. You might be right.
Yeah.
You might be right. Let's see. We got one of these.
I'm your Huckleberry.
From Football Fossil, another Canadian friend. The NFL should adopt Slinky Dog, major upgrade. Well, couldn't be worse than the officials in the Jets-Chiefs game last night. So, you had to know I was going to do that. Something else you had to know I was going to bring up today. Lou Holtz is he's taking that little beef with Ryan Day to another level.
Yes.
So he does a Super 16 poll for the Football Writers Association of America. And according to the Columbus Dispatch, even though Ohio State didn't play this week, he dropped them from 4, which is where he had them after they beat his beloved Notre Dame. He dropped him down to 9.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie. I don't think he's wrong. But there's a part of me that feels like Lou Holtz is sitting in his house and just conspiring, going, this'll get him talking about me again. You come at Lou Holtz, you best not miss. I am Richard Petty, Ryan Day, and I'll do this forever.
Well,
as
long as the Lord will allow him to.
Well, here's the thing. He's 6 years older than Lee Corso. Let that marinate on you for a minute.
No doubt.
Lou Holtz is still speaking at the Republican National Convention.
Is he really?
Yeah. He did a couple years ago.
Interesting.
I love Lou Holtz and Petty Lou. This is my favorite version of Lou Holtz, and it's not even close. Because he's gonna keep doing this. By the way, good win, Notre Dame. That was one of my losses of the week.
Oh.
Didn't have a lot of those, but did have that one. Mm-hmm. That is what we call a bad beat. Because I was on the right side of that game until I wasn't.
Yep. How's Riley, by the way? How long is he going to be out?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen an update on that. Duke's notoriously tight-lipped about injury.
This is the first time I've ever, 1, cheered audibly for Duke, and then 2, just got really bummed out at the end when it didn't go their way and when Riley came up hurt at the end.
Well, it's ironic you said that because I also found myself rooting for Duke.
Mm-hmm.
I also found myself rooting for the Miami Dolphins to make it a game with Buffalo.
Yep.
And I also found myself rooting for the Dallas Cowboys, which meant I had to bathe in holy water at about 7:30 last night.
Well, it was better than the alternative.
Absolutely. Dallas Cowboys, New England Patriots. Hey, who are you rooting for? The officials. The grounds crew. I really hope something causes a delay and we don't finish this game. And they both lose somehow.
38-3. Dallas hands Bill Belichick his worst loss of his coaching career. And, of course, everybody wants to talk today. Is it time for Bill to step away?
It's been time. It's been time. And yesterday was just a confirmation of that. I don't care. Somebody in our YouTube chat who, trust me, I threw out the first shot of, hey, you remember when I said Dallas was going to blow them out? And somebody went, no, Bill's not getting blown out. Okay, you can keep treating this like it's 2009 and put your fingers in your ears and not see what you're seeing on the field. You should be 0-4, and the only reason you're not is because you got the worst quarterback in the NFL to gift wrap you a game. And now I'm going to go one step further. Not only should this be the end for Bill, he needs to step up and make this real easy on Bob Kraft and walk away himself. Because we're about to have an uncomfortable conversation. I'm looking at New England's schedule for the rest of the year, and I'm going to level with you. There aren't a lot of wins here. There aren't. You got annihilated by the Dallas Cowboys. It was worse than that score indicates, and I watched practically every second of it. Next week, you play a Saints team. Yeah, they're coming to New England. Yeah, they're coming off a bad loss to Tampa Bay. Yeah, Derek Carr is not 100%. I still don't think you're even in the ballpark of them talent-wise. And now you don't have Matthew Judon. So now you have nobody to get after the passer. This antiquated way that Bill wants to run his offense, we're done. All right, this doesn't work anymore. Yesterday was an embarrassment. And you can tell me how great of an OC Bill O'Brien is. I didn't see it yesterday. You can tell me how great Mac Jones is. I didn't see it yesterday. Bill comes out after the game. Well, we didn't really bench Mac. Just what was the point of leaving him in there? I agree with you. But that's how tone-deaf Bill Belichick is at this point to the outside. He did not realize that the minute I pull Mac Jones off this field, there's probably 40% of my fan base that thinks Bailey Zappe is a better quarterback. He's not. They're both equally limited. But the minute you did that, you opened yourself up to this. And for me, this was just confirmation. You don't get it. You don't get how this is done in this world. And you can feed me, oh, he's the greatest coach of all time, and he's a legend, and he can go out on his own terms. Okay, let me make this as clear as I can. However many years you continue to allow him to do this, you're signing yourself up for 6-11, 7-10, 8-9. Because now the days of 9-8 and always sneak into the playoffs, that's done.
Yep.
That's done. Like dinner. Because he cannot assess talent at this point. That is the most ungodly, talentless offensive roster I think I've ever seen. Who's the best playmaker? Who's your guy?
Ramondre Stevens.
14 carries, 30 yards. Try again.
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry, 4 catches, 51 yards, and 21 of them were on one catch. That almost got him killed, and it took a circus act for him to catch it.
Right. Juju
had 1 catch for 14 yards and had 2 that he dropped.
Yikes. Devontae
Parker had 2 catches for 33 yards.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, I can keep doing this. Demario Douglas, you might have hit on him. Little small school kid. This is over. I mean, you can delay the inevitable all you want to, but this is you have officially gotten to the point of this is a marriage that has run its course. All right, the kids are out of the house, and now you're just 2 old cranky people that are sitting here arguing about one of you's watching Fox News and one of you wants to watch Hallmark movies. That's where you're at.
It sounds insane, but I don't think you're far off. In fact, I think you're correct. It is time, but I still don't. I still don't believe it's going to happen.
Well, this is now we're officially to the point. You can call me a Jets homer. You can say I hate New England, all these other things. Do you not want to move on? Are you not to that point where you're tired of looking at this 71-year-old crusty man that's just angry at the world? And they kept showing his face, and he looks like he looks like a hobo. Which he always did, but you know, it's funny how misunderstood genius becomes hobo when you start losing.
Absolutely.
No Smile said, if they suck for the rest of my life, at least I watch 6 Super Bowls. I get that.
Yeah.
Ask Dallas Cowboy fans how that ages. Yeah, they saw 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You think they wouldn't kill 3 people they liked for a shot at another one? Why do you think they lose their minds every single year? And I just have this funny feeling. Bob Kraft is not a loser. He's not. He's one of those that I'm not just doing this to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I buy this team to be competitive. And you're not. You beat the Jets. The Jets are awful.
But does he have the stones? Does he have the stones to say that? And will he put that legacy in jeopardy?
I fully believe after yesterday. Yesterday was an embarrassment of epic proportions. Yesterday was a Arizona Cardinals, Houston Texans, New York Jets, Chicago Bears level head beating that you caught on national television against the other most popular team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe today you get back to Foxborough and Robert Kraft has probably come into that office and said, Bill, we need to chat. I love you. You gave me the greatest years of my life. But either you're going to do this or I'm going to do it. It happened to Tom Landry. It happened to Don Shula. This is not new information. And everybody says, does he have the stones to do it? Of course he does. Okay. He doesn't care what you think. Do you think Robert Kraft, I think he's 70, he's 70-something years old. He's older than Bill. I know that much.
Yeah.
Do you really think he's looking at this going, oh, yeah, I'm just going to run out the string with Bill Belichick for the rest of my life? I'll just do this until he feels better and he wants to walk away. No. Type A alpha male dudes don't do that. He's looking at this going, I'm tired of getting embarrassed. Mac Jones is not an NFL quarterback. That's not a spicy take. I've been saying it for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is not new. He's not an NFL quarterback, and Bill can't see it, and he won't do anything else. Oh, we're going to run the ball and play really good defense. Yeah, did a great job of it yesterday. Mediocre Dak Prescott made you look awful. Oh, and 2 defensive touchdowns didn't hurt anything either. So, and I go back to what I said a couple weeks ago about Nick Saban. I see it in Saban. I see that Nick's going, I don't want to do this. I don't want to play this game. I hear it in the things he says to the media. I don't hear it in Bill. I still see that same spiteful little dude that thinks everybody around him is an idiot and he's the smartest guy in the room and I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to win 3 more Super Bowls. It's officially time that you take the option away from him. Either we can have that golden handshake and we part on good terms, or this is going to end ugly. Because this game's passed Bill Belichick by, and I don't even think it's debatable at this point. You know I've been screaming this for 2 years.
Yes, you have.
And I can't physically believe somebody as competitive as Bill Belichick will continue to do this week in, week out, because at this point, you're harming your legacy.
I agree.
It's getting worse by the week.
I agree.
Because all of those – so people like me that always said, you got lucky with Tom Brady, and that is what made you the greatest coach of all time. Every time you lose a game like this, hey, guess what? It hurts that record a little more. And now it's getting even more comical by the week of with Tom Brady, almost 800% winning percentage. Without him, below 46. Without him, you're a mediocre coach. And you're harming your legacy every week. You want to keep doing it? More power to you. Because now that's one less team that the rest of us have to worry about.
Yep. I've never accused him of being a stat chaser. But at this point, I think that's the only thing he's got left, right? Chasing Shula. And I don't know why that's so important to you. You've got all the Super Bowls. Just call it quits, Bill, and be done.
Exactly.
Walk away now. Save face. And just say, I'm on to new stuff. You know, he probably won't do it he's not going to do it in the middle of the season.
No, but literally.
But at the end of the year, you got to make that decision.
Monday after the season, he needs to come out and say, I'm walking away of my own volition. Yeah. It's time for New England to have a new voice. And it should be Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, because I feel like he owes this to the franchise. And he owes it to Robert Kraft of, I'm not going to leave you in a worse spot than we're already in. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
What's up, people? This is Cam Jordan, all-pro defensive end with the New Orleans Saints. Join me on my new podcast, Off the Edge with Cam Jordan.
There's pressure and he'll go down. And that is going to be Cam Jordan. They can't stop it.
In episodes each week, I'll bring you a different perspective of the game through the lens of my 12-plus years in the NFL. Some of the game's biggest stars will also join me to help you become a smarter football fan. Listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Coffee's the closer's only.
Get him the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Monday Night Football. Seattle Seahawks at the New York Giants. Giants are a 2.5-point dog, over under 47. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The easiest part of this is the under. I like both defenses. I'm not overly sold on either offense. Look, the Giants have 2 corners that can run with DK Metcalf, can run with Tyler Lockett. I don't think Geno Smith is going to come out and just light them up. This has ugly slugfest written all over it, so I'm going under the 47. As for who wins, there's nothing about the New York Giants that really excites me. This game started as a pick'em. The public has bet it all the way down to a 2.5-point lead for Seattle, and I think that's the right direction. If this had gotten to a field goal, I'd be a little more nervous because I could easily see this being a field goal game. I'm taking Seattle minus the 2.5. I'll say your score tonight, 20-17 Seattle Seahawks, under the 47. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure dominating our weather this week. Sunny and warm out there this afternoon. Temperatures into low part of the 80s. Clear skies here tonight. Patchy late night fog, low to mid 50s. Patchy morning fog Tuesday, Wednesday. Otherwise more sunshine and remaining warm. Highs up around 80 degrees both afternoons. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday with a high near 80. Mostly cloudy, slightly cooler Friday with a slight chance of showers, mid 70s. I'm Ken Boone with the Weather Channel.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year, you get the latest iPhone every year. Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Spring fire season is here, and you are the best defense against wildfires. Make sure to have a water hose, bucket, steel rake, and a shovel for tossing dirt on the fire. Keep your phone with you in case you need help, and never leave a fire unattended. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts. Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio.
Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And the Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. You can see us everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on everything that we talk about here. You can vote in our polls when we put those up. You can super chat things into us throughout the program. It's just a great little tool to have. And we love having a counter of just how many people put up with our dumbassery day after day here on ESPN Asheville. It is an Overreaction Monday, and we'll get more in depth into what we saw yesterday in the NFL. But college football over the weekend was pretty entertaining.
Were you entertained?
I mean, I was thoroughly entertained.
You were not allowed in your own living room.
I was not.
It's
one of those things where your team's struggling, and then you walk out of the room, and then they score a touchdown, and now you're no longer allowed to come back in. How many of you live with people like that?
Jeremy, I am people like that.
Really?
No doubt.
Have to stand in the same spot?
Oh, yeah.
Just to keep the mojo going?
I have to drink the same beer.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
If you change beers in the middle of the game, what does that do?
Well, if I finish one, I had the same domestic light last night from the time really things started to go the jet way until I finally accidentally finished it with about 4 minutes to go, and that's when that god-awful holding call happened, and I went, oh, no. I did it. I'm the one. Jet fans be mad at me.
Yeah.
I did it.
It was all on you. I'm not a superstitious person like that.
I have 13 tattooed all over my body. So, I am that guy.
But, yeah, it was not a great day for Georgia. Struggled mightily with Auburn. Was able to come back and win the game, though, so at least there's that. Still don't know how you're still the #1 team in the country, but
I told you they would be.
Oh, of course.
As soon as you said that.
Of course
now,
they were.
Here's what I've been revved up to say since Saturday.
Okay.
They shouldn't be.
No.
And I'm going to say something that's going to sound absolutely insane, and I completely mean it. I'm not sure that you're not going to need some help to make the playoff. Even going 13-0. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Fact or fiction, the winner of the Pac-12 is going to get a spot in the CFP.
Fact.
You have to.
Yes.
It's the best conference in college football, and it's not close.
Yes.
The winner of the Big Ten is going to get a spot in the CFP.
Yes.
The winner of the ACC, if it's undefeated, Florida State, is going to get a spot in the CFP.
Yes.
If Texas is undefeated, they get a spot in the CFP. You're all four conference champions.
Yeah.
All of you undefeated. I'd take every one of you over Georgia, and I'm not sure it's even close. You don't play anybody. You keep playing down to these mediocre SEC teams. The SEC's not good. Just point blank. Let me be all you SEC people, I don't know what you need to see to understand that the second best team in your conference is that Alabama team that can't score on anybody that's any good. You don't have any good wins. So you look at Texas that has a handful. You've already got one over Alabama, second best team in your conference, would be the best win you have easily if you play them in the SEC championship game.
Yep.
They'll have a win over Oklahoma and a little smattering of teams that they have beaten outside of that.
Yep.
That's better than anything you have. You cannot leave Texas out for Georgia if they go undefeated.
I agree.
Florida State have a win over LSU. That's probably the third or fourth best team in your conference. It's not gone as well as you would want it to. It's not Jaden Daniels' fault. He tried. Your defense is real bad.
Right.
You have a win over Clemson. You have a win over Duke. You have a win over Florida. You have a win over Miami. That's 5 wins better than anything Georgia will have. Can't leave them out. Michigan would have wins over Ohio State, Penn State, and then one of them a second time. Can't leave them out.
Agreed.
And the Pac-12 has to beat each other, which if in football madness bingo, Pac-12 is easily the best conference in college football. Yeah, I didn't have that one. That's one that I didn't expect in any way. Ole Miss is a good. Brian Buchanan on our YouTube chat said Ole Miss is a good team. They just can't stop anybody. They can score. They hotty-toddy really well. If that game was 18 seconds longer, you'd be hanging a loss because whoever got the ball last was probably going to win.
Yep. I mean, you have the opportunity, if you're Georgia, to put some top 25 wins on the record books here, but you need a lot of help to get there because all your top 25 opponents, at least that are on the schedule right now, they could fall out of the top 25 by the time you get there. Because you got a lot of you got 4 or 5 games there, or I guess 4 games against teams that are ranked 17 and below.
Well, you got one this week, which is Kentucky, and they're luckily for you coming to Georgia. You would not want to go into that stadium. After what I saw them do against Florida, one of your top 20 wins would be against Florida. Let me tell you a dirty little secret. They're awful. Just genuinely horror awful. Mark Stoops pulled out an offense that Lou Holtz would have been proud of. It didn't matter. I think Devin Leary had 6 more completions than I did. Didn't matter.
Yep.
Missouri. Okay. You're Tennessee. I don't know what you are.
Give me Ole Miss.
I mean, they're fine.
I mean, they're a top 16 team in the country.
They're a top 16 team. Will they be when you play them?
That's the point. That's I see what you're saying.
They have to play Texas A&M. I don't see it.
I would love to see what the committee does with it.
That's what I'm locked into.
Because if you end up with 5,
because you may very well end up with 5. All 5 Power 5 conference champions
could be
be undefeated. Yeah. And Georgia will have the weakest resume of the bunch, and it won't even be kind of close.
Agreed.
But they're not going to do it.
No, they're not going to leave them out.
Now, here's the question. Who you leave out?
If I had to put my house on it, it's Florida State.
I think you're drunk. That's the strongest resume of all of them. That's the one you can't leave out.
Really?
I think it ends up being the Pac-12. I swear to you I do. They don't get the respect. None of them really play all that great at defense. Washington struggled with Arizona this week, which didn't see that coming. That's another one of my misses this week. But I'm just looking at this going.
So the ACC champion, would it be Florida State, would have a better record or better strength of schedule over the Pac-12?
Okay, tell me who that Pac-12 champion is going to be. Because it's shocking how few of those teams that they actually play. Because USC is the one I'm looking at going, I mean, you can't stop a nosebleed, but I'm not sure who's going to stop Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be a back-to-back Heisman Trophy winner. Statistically, he's 30% better this year than he was last year.
Nice. Oregon's
going to get just boat raced by USC.
Are they? Okay.
I think Oregon will get boat raced this week by Washington. Or it might be next week.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the two. For me, you're going to get Washington USC in that championship game. And if you're telling me that that CFP committee sits down and they've got national power Georgia, national power Michigan, national power Texas, national power Florida State, and Washington, yep, I can tell you which one's going to get left out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's the way it should be.
No.
I'm saying that's the way it's going to be.
Yes.
Facts don't care about your feelings. These are still people.
You're not leaving out an undefeated back-to-back national champion because their schedule wasn't that great. It's just not going to happen. I mean, should it? Sure. Should, I'm the one that has always been beaten down the door for I don't care if you're undefeated. If you're undefeated from a crappy conference, then you don't deserve the shot.
And that's where I'm at with Georgia.
You're
going to be
I'm right
that
there
team.
with you.
There's nothing that's going to stop that.
And I'm right there with you. If we end up in a scenario, then I'll own it and say we shouldn't be there. But I don't think the committee's going to agree with me.
And that's where I'm at, which is why I am adamantly rooting for you to lose one of these games to take that away.
Mm-hmm.
Because what my fear is, I've told you, I feel like Washington and Michigan are the 1-2 in the country right now, and I don't really think any of these other teams are close.
Yeah.
Texas is good defensively. They're really good offensively. They hit a lot of big plays, but there's a lot of boo.
Mm-hmm. Can I share something with you?
Absolutely.
We're not going to.
To lose?
We're not going to win them all. We're not going undefeated.
That
team that I saw this past weekend, you're gonna get got.
Oh, no doubt.
You will get got by Ole Miss. You will get got by whoever in the SEC
Tennessee
championship game. You very well, yeah. You could get smacked in the mouth by Tennessee and that offense. You cannot continue to not show up for the first halves of games and just expect like everything's going to be hunky-dunky. And I swear to God, I tried to be positive, right? I tried to be the guy in the corner of new quarterback. No. New number, who dis? I don't care who you got to turn it over to, Gunner, Stockton, or who's the other guy that's waiting in the wings there to play quarterback. I keep Brock. It's not. What's his name? Vandergriff.
Brock
Vandergriff. I don't care if you got to turn it over to him. You don't have the guy.
Well, I mean, and that's
Carson Beck's not the dude.
Oh, that's where I'm at. Is that you said, they didn't show up in the first half. They didn't show up in the second half. Brock Bowers showed up in the second half. Went,
he's good.
I'm a dude.
Uh-huh. And he is.
You struggled mightily with a team that threw for less than 100 yards, and their leading rusher was a quarterback that I'm not sure could outrun me.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that entire game going, this is not a national title contender.
No.
I never saw anything that suggested to me that in a 1v1, you're beating Washington, you're beating Michigan to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. McCarthy would pick you apart. And this is where, and we have this argument every year about the polls and how stupid the polls are and why we shouldn't have a preseason poll. Because be honest with yourself right now. October the 2nd. This is when I have always claimed the first poll should come out is the first week of October.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your one?
Michigan.
They're also my one. Who's your two?
Probably Texas.
Mine's Washington. Texas would be my 3.
Okay.
Florida State's my 4.
Okay.
Georgia's not my 5.
Really?
No. I've seen special from every team up there. I have not seen special from Georgia. And if one of your little UFO alien people landed on this planet and knew absolutely nothing of anything that happened in college football before August the 27th of this year, do you realize how hard you would have to convince them that, no, this is the 2-time national champion? Because they don't look that way.
No, you're right.
If you just go the 5 games on the field, I'd argue they don't belong in the top 10. Ohio State has a better win than them, and I don't believe in Ohio State in the least. Notre Dame has a better win than them. Yeah, they have a loss, but it's also a team that I think is better than they are.
It's a problem.
This is also why I'm looking at this. You told the story last week of the 6 and 6. Oh, we're going to do the 5 power conferences and then the group of 5. That's why the Big Ten and the ACC and none of those guys are going to agree to this. Because you lose the Pac-12 and you look down how that would go. Yeah, sorry, we ain't letting Tulane in.
No.
Sorry, we ain't letting Fresno State in.
No, well, I mean, we'll let one of them in.
Because we have legit 12 contenders.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way, but I do. You have legit 12 teams that I'm not sure that on any given day they couldn't beat anybody. And now, once you get into the 12s, you start getting into Alabama. Okay, I'm not so sure that you could score with these other teams. Washington State, to me, criminally underrated. Criminally underrated, as is Oregon State, as is Miami. Duke. I think Duke's really good. You got caught at home.
Yep.
You had one broken coverage late, but you had every opportunity to win that game.
But you're not in the discussion.
No.
Okay.
What I'm saying is when we get to 12, which the teams I just said, all right, they line up and play Fresno State. Who you taking?
Oh, no doubt.
Every team I just said,
absolutely,
minus 21.5, and I do it standing on my head.
That's why it's cute, and you get one. We'll give you one. We're not.
I don't even want to give you one, if I'm being really honest.
Wait a minute. Wasn't it you that was clamoring for the one?
Well, new information. Sometimes things change.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy.
Sometimes things change. One other question before we move off college football, because we have a lot of pro things to talk about, and we have some what's that word you use all the time? Dumbassery.
Yes.
To attend to in the next segment.
Yes, we do.
You and I think universally agree Pac-12 is the best conference in college football.
Yeah.
Who's 2?
Big 12?
Big 10.
Big 10.
Big 12's debatable, but you've really only got
close.
You've got 2 and then 8 miles of crap underneath it that I don't really think we need to talk about BYU. You're fine, but you're not really in the discussion here.
Right.
I would say the Big 10's 2, the Big 12's 3. I could make the argument the SEC is the weakest of the Power 5 conferences.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure right now that, let's say, Carolina Ole Miss, good Lord, do I want to see that in the Holiday Bowl really, really badly. or then not the Holiday, that's a Pac-12 thing. What's the one that the ACC and the SEC play in?
The
Gator Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Whatever bowl it is, I want that one so I can bet my entire net worth on the over because you cannot set that number high enough. If you told me the over-under on Ole Miss, North Carolina was 102, take it. Take my monies. There you go. All of it. Slide it across the table.
Be a lot of fun.
But, I mean, I'm looking at the ACC now going, Miami's pretty good. Nobody wants to talk about that, but they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Clemson, you got by Duke. You had 3 turnovers in the red zone, and you spanked Syracuse pretty well. You showed really well against Florida State. I'm not sure Clemson wouldn't be the second best team in the SEC.
Really?
That's how bad. I mean, look, I watch a ton of SEC football because you're in those windows. You're not competing with much.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of them I watch, I'm just not impressed by in the least.
Is it because they're not flashy, or is it
No,
just
it's because they're not good.
Okay.
It's because they're not good. Ole Miss, okay, you score a lot of points. Defensively, you are a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Any good team is going to score 50 points on Ole Miss. Now, they might score 55 on you. But that's what you're trying to sell me is the second best team in your conference?
Right.
And that's what you're trying to sell me on to get you to the CFP? There's new sheriffs in town now.
There's only one hope. There's only one hope for the SEC, and that's that Georgia goes undefeated, and because nobody else is getting in.
All right. Now, one more thing. I know we got to take a break, but I have to ask this question too because you're probably the most realistic Georgia fan I've ever met, and it pains me to give you your flowers on that because you do irritate me. I swear. Amy was like, "Why do you hate Georgia so much?" And I went, T-A-N-K, Spencer. Let's say they all lose a game.
Yes.
Then what happens?
Everybody loses?
They all lose a game. Because I think that's where you get left out. Washington loses a game to...
You cannot look at a defending champion who's undefeated and say no. You can, however, do that when you have one loss.
And even if they've all got one loss. Because let's say Washington, the team that I thought would be held out, let's say their loss is to USC. You lose to USC, then you play them in the Pac-12 title game. You avenge the loss, and Georgia loses to Kentucky this week.
But I also feel like this is where the rankings will kick in, right? All the analytics and all the rankings will kick in once that loss does happen. Should it come this week against Kentucky? Should it happen later in the season against Ole Miss or Tennessee? Once you pick up that loss, then it allows everybody to be more honest about who you are.
Yes.
Because if they were being honest about who this Georgia team is now, they wouldn't be number one. They would be 3 at best. And still,
you believe that high, taking only this year?
No.
There you go.
No, I do not. But what I'm saying is, if people were honest, if the voters were honest, they probably would still be in the top 3.
The way I vote is if you played on a neutral field, who am I taking right now?
And
And
they'd be way down that list.
And I'm not taking Georgia against any of the teams really that I've already said.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can score with the Pac-12 teams. Michael Penix. What Michael Penix in that offense would do to that defense that I am told is so good. Oof. Now, you might be able to score on them. Can't tell you wouldn't.
Thankfully, there's more season left to go. And hopefully these guys will turn it around. Who knows? Maybe you'll find a quarterback somewhere. Of course, 2 years ago, I was saying the same stuff about Stetson Bennett before he became, Mr. Walk-on-Water, can-do-no-wrong transfer guy.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck, you are not the same.
No. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from. White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer. The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year, you get the latest iPhone every year. Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month loan financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Find the brands, inspiration, and great value you need to own your style at Macy's VIP sale, going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off fall trends and updates. Plus 15% off go-to beauty, skincare, and fragrances. Plus, shop specials and find great deals on top brands at Macy's VIP sale. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cott?
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. We're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app on 92.9 FM. The NFL can't stop. Well, I mean, the media can't stop. And we knew this was going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
When she dawned the door, when Travis Kelce said, my dearest Taylor.
My dearest Swiftie, I hope this letter finds you well.
When they started their courtship, we all knew this was going to happen.
I don't think that's quite how this went.
When they started going steady,
yeah. Well,
drinking milkshakes together.
I don't quite think that's how this went.
We knew this was going to happen. Now, look, I did not see it. You know, I fell asleep. I fell asleep for most of the game last night, so I did not get subjected to the frequent interruptions of Tay-Tay Watch while she was up in the booth hanging out with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds
and Hugh Jackman. By the way, how did those guys feel? Like, hey, we're famous too. He's Wolverine and I'm Deadpool.
Yeah.
Maybe mention me one time.
And she hugged Mama Kelsey, and Mama Kelsey was trying to put the moves on Jake from State Farm.
The best part of the Tay-Tay Watch was the every time they went to Taylor Swift and you could see Brittany Mahomes and she was going, I want to throw her off this balcony. I hate her so much. She is so catty and I love it. I love it.
Who, Brittany?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she just sitting there like, I hate your stupid face. I hate the things you say, how you say them, and when you say them.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about me, and I'm with the quarterback. Yeah, because you're real annoying. And so is she. But it was pointed out to me last night on Twitter, Stephen Tao complaining about Taylor is still talking about Taylor. And now that's why all right, fait accompli here. I actually have never heard a Taylor Swift song. I've heard that stupid Shake It Off.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awful. Mm-hmm. And I've judged her entire career on that.
This one.
Good Lord. Good God, that would be the worst song that a all-girl high school band came up with. And all of you just no, gotta have more of Shake It Off. That song is terrible. But I've never heard any of the rest of them. So I implored Tank, who has been a radio jock for a long time, and he's got the full anthology of Tay-Tay songs. Adam Black asked if you could dance with your mouth closed. No, he can't.
Nope, cannot.
Can't do most things with his mouth closed, if we're being really honest.
I actually learned how to dance from Sesame Street. Like that's the Muppet
Puppets.
dance. Like,
yeah. It's funny that you think you learned to dance.
100% I did.
So, Tank.
I got the moves like Yeager.
I want you to fire just a few snippets.
Dave Yeager.
Of the former Memphis Grizzlies coach?
Damn right.
Oh, yeah. I want you to fire a couple clips of Tay-Tay.
Okay.
And I'm going to give an honest opinion. Since they want to force Taylor Swift on football fans, now the football fan is going to have Taylor Swift forced on him. Let's go. Is that song called Vodka and Antidepressants? Because if it's not, then you really missed an opportunity. That is That's real sad. I don't like what that. That can't possibly. I mean, none of them can be worse than that. That's just sad and dreary and awful.
I don't know. Let's.
Listen to while you write your thought journal. Like, what is that? What is it about this woman that all you people like? That's another one that's like, just good Lord. It's just so sad. There's no beat to it whatsoever.
Oh, let's see what he thinks about this one.
They sold her entire anthology to an elevator company just to play horrible melodic crap while you go up and down in floors. That's over. None of these songs have been good.
No.
Do you have another one?
I mean, I could throw another one at you. We'll see. How about this one?
That's for dudes that they're not as happy as they wish they.
Oh, not that there's anything wrong with it.
I mean, hey, you didn't take pills. It's modern technology. It's fine. Yeah, I can say. I mean, that wasn't much. It's 4 songs to really judge a career, and yeah, I can walk away from that going, I don't get it. I don't get what all of you hear in that. Because there wasn't a good 3 seconds in any of the things you just played.
I don't disagree.
How is that person the most famous person on the planet?
Don't know. I've asked myself the same question
I will say
many
this.
pop artists before.
If I was a record executive, I mean, yeah, I would have missed. She's made billions of dollars. I would have told her off after that 3rd song, you have a great career writing jingles for Valium, because that's what every single one of those commercials sounds. Or it sounds like it's be playing in the back of a antidepressant commercial.
Andrew Ayers said, play some of her older stuff.
Fire it away.
I don't know what older. I couldn't tell you.
Well, you tell me. What was it that Teardrops on My Guitar? I've heard that song, and it's horrific.
We don't get it, right?
Oh,
there's something to it. We don't get it. It's not our generation, and now it's moving in on our foosball.
I don't care that. Well, I mean, I do, but I'm gonna hit that later.
You do
in the
care
show.
because it's just like everything else. They're going to make you care. They're going to make you care that she's at every game. I've already said I got a Vikings friend who was posting earlier today on, congratulations to my Vikings for getting a win. Hey, next week we get to host Taylor Swift. It's a thing now. I don't like it. I don't get it.
And that will be the end of our Taylor Swift talk. We didn't have enough time there to do any of the other games justice, so we had to make jokes, 'cause that's what we do.
And the joke in the end is, well, we're old.
Oh, 100%. I'm full on Abe Simpson. Get that ball out of my yard.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure dominating our weather this week. Sunny and warm out there this afternoon. Temperatures into low part of the 80s. Clear skies here tonight. Patchy late night fog, low to mid 50s. Patchy morning fog Tuesday, Wednesday. Otherwise, more sunshine and remaining warm. Highs up around 80 degrees both afternoons. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday with a high near 80. Mostly cloudy, slightly cooler Friday with a slight chance of showers, mid-70s. I'm Ken Boone with the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces. And trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We're back in the Ingle on ESPN Asheville. It's time to get weird. And this is not a headline that I expected to see today, but the Marine Corps. United States Marine Corps is changing things up as far as their dress goes, their uniform code. It all has to be changed. Well, I guess the policies have to be relaxed here because there's a shortage that I was unaware of. We know that we have all kinds of shortages, right? We've talked about the referee shortage here on the program. If you pay attention to politics, you hear about the teacher shortages and bus driver shortages. I never thought we'd get to a point, though, where apparently there is a camouflage shortage.
But how do you have a shortage of something you can just make more of?
I'm not real sure. Camouflage shortage in the Marine Corps will lead to service members wearing less regulated uniforms in the near future. In an Instagram video, Commandant General Eric Smith addressed service members' concerns over an inability to find and purchase woodland-patterned camis in an ongoing manufacturing shortage. He announced that as the problem continues, local members will be allowed to wear alternate uniforms contrary to Marine standards. So there's going to be they can still wear their desert camis if you can't find the woodland cami. So this is the green and the brown and the lighter brown, the beige. You can just wear the desert camis if you're in the Marine Corps. I never thought we'd get to a camo shortage.
You know what? The world on a daily basis, I just look around and go, how did we get here?
Right. Does Florida still not exist? I'm pretty sure they have all the camo you could find. I mean, they've got stores on every block down there.
Oh, yeah. Jacksonville. I promise you could replenish the entire United States military with just the camo and jorts.
And maybe not. Maybe the surplus stores are all out of it, too, and this has just been a problem that's been bubbling for years. And finally, the dam is breaking on the camo shortage.
Well, my weird story is not particularly all that weird. I just wanted to get this story in, and this was the only place that I could make it make sense. Because one of the weirdest things that I could possibly tell you is in a football-chocked weekend, I found a way to watch 2 movies.
Ooh,
not one, but 2. Wolf of Wall Street, saw that for the first time. I had never seen that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a scene with Margot Robbie that was worth the price of admission. Movie was good anyway, but that was where I went, I'm glad I clicked that button.
I can't believe you've never seen that.
I didn't know that was coming. So when it happened, I went, oh, wait, I don't know what to do now.
Except for bite your fist.
Yeah. My wife actually looked at me and went, you're going to like this part, because she'd seen the movie before.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I watched was Reptile, which is a psychological thriller with Justin Timberlake and Benicio del Toro. It is awesome.
Okay.
But let me give you a solid piece of advice if you decide to watch this movie on Netflix. Put your phone down. We had to have a full debriefing after the end of the movie to go, okay, so I missed some parts and you missed some parts, and now I'm real confused. And so we literally had to sit there and have like a government debrief of what had transpired and why it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, no, that's awesome. I wish I'd paid way better attention. It's stupid long.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
texting.
it's almost 2.5 hours long.
Okay.
You mix that with Wolf of Wall Street, it was a movie night at my house.
Say, geez, that's a 7-hour event.
Yeah. There was a lot of movie that happened at my house. But I highly, highly recommend Reptile.
Yes.
I do love Benicio del Toro. So.
As you should.
There is somebody that I don't love, and I haven't loved for a long time, and he's a little cherub that plays quarterback for my New York Jets.
But he's so good now.
I don't know exactly what happened last night, but I'm pretty sure the real Zach Wilson is hogtied in a custodial closet somewhere in MetLife Stadium, because I have never seen the quarterback that I saw last night. Never. Oh, but he lost in the game on the fumble. No, the center lost in the game because you don't put it in the left pocket of a right-handed quarterback, dum-dum, and you've been in this league long enough to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he took his eye off the ball. They wouldn't have been in the game without him, so sorry, he's not the reason they lost. I do like that he completely copped to I cost us the game, in spite of the fact I don't agree with it.
But he had to.
Well, it's a lot better than what Justin Fields did, so...
Oh, well, yeah, but remember we went through this last year.
Oh, no doubt.
With Zach Wilson saying, it is what it is.
And
he did the Justin Fields thing last year.
And the response was phenomenal. We have a super chat from our buddy Curtis Davis, who said the refs screwed the Jets so much I thought the Jets were in the AFC West for a minute. Bolt up, family, trust, respect. We love you, Curtis Davis, and I'm glad you said that because I agreed wholeheartedly, and I apologize to all of Woodfin that got to hear my feelings on it really loudly at about 11 o'clock last night.
Mm-hmm.
Officials are bad. That was a terrible holding call on Sauce Gardner. Terrible holding, missed call. I think Jermaine Johnson is still being held as we speak.
Yes.
I'm not sure Donovan Smith has let him go yet.
He was held so bad, he had a civil rights violation argument to make.
He was held for so long that he finally, whilst still being held, flailed his arms at the official like, I'm going to do jumping jacks in the hopes that you notice me eventually. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Here is what I will say about my beloved Jets. Yes, you got me interested again, because that version of Zach Wilson means the season is not over. I also must touch on the fact that Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know how this went completely unnoticed. Did you hear the sideline report of they had talked to Aaron, and he said, I absolutely plan on coming back to play this year.
Yes.
Not next year.
No.
This year.
He still believes he'll be back in January.
I don't know what kind of voodoo witchcraft doctor you have that's treating you. That's not going to happen. But I saw enough last night to say that Zach Wilson, there could still be something there. I think he is. I think the switch clicked. He's picking up the Nathaniel Hackett offense. And that's the positive I'm going to say about Nathaniel Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes the negative. Why, for the love of all that's good and holy, will you not run the damn ball? Breece Hall is averaging 6.5 yards a carry. He has 32 carries the entire year. Mm-hmm. Run the stupid ball.
He had 9.3 yards per carry last night.
I don't know how this is so hard for an NFL coordinator to figure out. The best player on your offense is Garrett Wilson. A very razor-thin close second is Breece Hall, who may very well be the best running back in the NFL. I know that sounds crazy for me to say. I've watched every carry he's had in his entire career. He may be the best running back in this league, and you just refuse to give it to him. If you want to – did you notice last night that things opened up after they finally gave a carry to Breece Hall? Because then you had to honor that and keep that extra guy in the box and not just send him barreling down at Zach Wilson. Did you happen to notice that? Nate, buddy, old pal, you moron. I never thought I could hate an offensive coordinator as bad as I hated his father. It took him 4 weeks to do it. And yes, there was good. There was good. You got Zach Wilson on rhythm, which nobody has been able to do outside of one game with the Tennessee Titans 3 years ago. If you can do that, this team is not dead yet. They play the Denver Broncos this week, and I will make a very spirited argument that this is the biggest game of Zach Wilson's career. Because you have to win this. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at that schedule, you can call me a homer. You can call me a crazy person. I don't care. Outside of a Cowboys game where things just went completely off the rails and you allowed 5 field goals because Zach Wilson was terrible, you've allowed 15 points to the New England Patriots in a game that you should have won if you had even competent quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson last night beats that Patriots team, not close. All I need was the 3 good drives you had and 1 dart like you threw to Alan Lazard. That's enough to beat New England. You could very easily have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs last night. You play the Broncos this week. You go to an Eagles team that defense is not really putting the fear of God in me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go Giants, Chargers, Raiders before you get back into the division. It is not out of the realm of possibilities that this team's going to be 5-4 going into Buffalo. I know that sounds crazy. If you can bottle up what Zach Wilson did last night, this season's not over. Because there are teams in this AFC that are not nearly as good as we thought they were.
I would agree.
The Cincinnati Bengals are not as good as we thought they were.
We said that at the beginning of this season. Or I guess after the Monday night game where Aaron Rodgers went down. If Zach Wilson can be half-assed, this team's going to be good.
Do you remember in the preseason? I'm going to re-reference what you're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what we wanted the record to be after 5 weeks going into Philadelphia?
I don't remember.
2-3.
Mm.
To make the playoffs, you needed to be 2-3 or better. You go in and beat the Broncos next week, and you should, because they are arguably the second worst team in the NFL.
You'll be 2-3.
Justin Fields just carved them up for 3 quarters. This season's not over yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's an ugly part where you have to play the Bills and the Dolphins, but then you catch the Falcons, the Texans, the Commanders right there all together. You sneak one out of the division, you end late with the Browns and the Patriots. I mean, that Browns defense is evil, but they don't score points easily. I don't think this is as lost cause of a season as a lot of other people do.
No.
I saw enough in Zach Wilson last night to keep me watching at the very least.
Yeah.
I saw a rallied locker room. They were a little defeated by the officials. That's on Robert Saleh. All right, you got to rally the troops and go, that kid, what you just saw is what I have been defending on this podium for weeks. I know it's in him. Nate got it out last week. Now we got to figure out how to get Breece Hall the ball. It is inexcusable to have 16 carries in an NFL football game. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how good your quarterback is.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a mediocre at best, having the best game of his life, that's fine. Breece Hall having that few carries is inexcusable. Nathaniel Hackett beat you last night because Kansas City gave you every opportunity, and that defense did everything you needed them to. Oh, Isaiah Pacheco had all these yards. First of all, don't do push-ups. That I guarantee you, Isaiah Pacheco woke up this morning and went, I hurt a lot because C.J. Mosley took that personally, and he should have. That defense is good enough to win you a lot of games.
Yes, it is. I've never doubted that.
Nobody's ever doubted that.
The thing has been, how good can Zach Wilson be? And it's great that he showed up and he played well. Awesome. I can't trust you to do it again. Ever. I mean, I'm at that point. Like, now I just have to see it. And
for me, Chris Collinsworth figured this out. You got to get the ball out of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a good enough quarterback to be ad-libbing, getting into that the third read. You got two reads, and either throw the ball in the dirt or take off. He overthinks everything. If you're simplifying this down, which is exactly what I think happened. I think Nate Hackett, after they got down 17-0, went, look, kid, you're playing for the rest of your life. Because if we come out here and get beat 45-0 tonight on national television with all these Tay-Tay people watching, your career's over. Nobody will ever trust you again.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut it loose. Here are two reads on every play, and then either get rid of it or dump it off. Or take off. He did that a couple times too.
Mm-hmm.
You can win with that formula. And I know I sound like a homer, and I'm sure a lot of you think that, and I don't care. I've watched every snap of that kid's career. I have only seen him look like that one other time. I felt like Mike LaFleur put way too much on him, and that was the old Sam Darnold argument of you did not give this kid enough to be good. Last night you did.
Yep.
And you played blow for blow with the best team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Or at very worst, the second best team in the AFC. You made Pat Mahomes look average. By the way, I do find it really funny that now there are a whole slew of people that watched that as their first NFL game that think Zach Wilson's better than Pat Mahomes.
Oh, God.
You're out there. You're singing Taylor Swift songs. I know you are. Last night was the first time in Pat Mahomes' career that an opposing – and I'm talking going all the way back to college – that an opposing quarterback had fewer interceptions, more completions, more passing yards, and a higher QBR.
Wow.
Only one ever. Joe Burrow never did it. Josh Allen didn't do it. If you can bottle up what you found there is a reason to think that if Aaron is doing some voodoo witchcraft and could get back on the field, there might actually be a reason for him to do it.
And he will. I don't feel like Aaron Rodgers is one of those that makes a lot of empty promises. I mean, unless he says we're going to go win a Super Bowl, which he's done a couple times. But
here's the other thing that nobody talked. At least I didn't hear anybody talk about this last night. The offensive line, that ain't a problem anymore. You did what all of us clamored for and not stick 98-year-old geriatric Dwayne Brown out there on the left side. Put your former first-round pick, Mekhi Becton, on the left, Vera Tucker on the right, put the rookie in the middle, and guess what? Zach Wilson stayed clean virtually the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
There is cause for optimism with the New York Jets. Now, this could be loosey with the football, and they could lose to the Denver Broncos next week. It's the most must-win game of the weekend, and I think they're going to blow the Broncos out.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Jeremy, you got a parlay coming because it's another football night in America. It's time to make some money next.
The season we've all been waiting for is here.
No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
One of Western North Carolina's favorite half marathons is back. The Geyser Growl Half Marathon, presented by Hillman Beer, October the 21st, starting at 8 a.m. This fun and scenic race during the peak of leaf season takes you from Lake Tomahawk and Black Mountain down to Old Fort and passing the iconic Andrews Geyser. The race finishes at Hillman Beer with hot soup and cold beer. If you're looking for a fun half marathon, you don't want to miss this. For more information and to get signed up, go to gloryhoundevents.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts. Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Favorite parlay for Monday Night Football. I gave you the Seattle Seahawks minus the 2.5, under the 47 in the last hour. Now, let's stack it up to make all the monies. Put 5 on it. Take that to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy and get all the free wagers so you can wager football with us all season long. I'm taking Kenny Walker and Darren Waller anytime touchdown scorers. Under 1.5 Daniel Jones passing touchdowns. I think that one goes to Darren Waller. Under 229.5 passing yards for Daniel Jones. Over 247.5 for Geno Smith. If you put 5 on it, just like I did, and I'm right, that $5 wager becomes 805 U.S. doll hairs at betus.com. I don't look for much offense from Daniel Jones and the New York Giants. Most likely not going to have Saquon Barkley, which means Seattle can pin their ears back and force Daniel Jones to beat them through the air, which I don't think he can do. As for Geno Smith, I don't look for him to light it up either, but 247.5 is too low. This Giants defense is okay. At times they can get after quarterbacks, but they've been really susceptible in the back end. Wouldn't be shocked if you saw a good night from one of the receivers for the Seahawks, whether it was DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. You can take that 7-way parlay to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager the NFL with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure dominating our weather this week. Sunny and warm out there this afternoon. Temperatures into the low part of the 80s. Clear skies here tonight. Patchy late night fog, low to mid 50s. Patchy morning fog Tuesday, Wednesday. Otherwise, more sunshine and remaining warm. Highs up around 80 degrees both afternoons. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday with a high near 80. Mostly cloudy, slightly cooler Friday with a slight chance of showers, mid 70s. I'm Ken Boone with the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Get ready to experience the excitement.
It is the 13th year of the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
The emotions.
Love you guys. We're so happy to be here tonight.
The surprises.
Are you ready for another I can't believe it moment?
The superstars.
Such an amazing honor to share a stage with so many unbelievable artists. And of course, the music.
Our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming to Hulu.
You will not want to miss. Stream the special starting October 10th.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Saturday, October the 14th, it's the Thomas Wolfe 8K, Asheville's oldest running event. Come and celebrate its 46th year in downtown Asheville. The course starts at the Thomas Wolfe House, takes you through downtown in Montford and past Thomas Wolfe's final resting place in Riverside Cemetery. This race helps support Read to Succeed in Asheville and Buncombe County. For more information and to get signed up, go to thomaswolfe8k.com. That's thomaswolfe8k.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
It fires me up.
There it is. Audio in it. I hate technology.
Interesting.
I really do. I don't even know where it went. It just the same button I've clicked all day.
Hey.
And then nope, doesn't work anymore.
No. All right. Anyway, it is the top of the third hour of the program on a Monday, Overreaction Monday. We always do the daily draft as stock up, stock down from the weekend. And first pick of the draft belongs to me.
Sure.
I believe I won the draft on Friday. Pretty sure.
I do not remember.
I mean, I did have like the Duke game, which was really good.
I had Colorado, which
that was fine. That did really well. Anyhow, I'll start us off here. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. The overall what do I want to do here? Let's go loser. Let's go loser of the week. We always start with stock down because, I mean, we're negative Nancy's here. That's what we do, right?
Yes, participation, Spencer Trophy.
I gotta go full homer on this one. Stock down for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Wow.
You can't.
Biggest loser of the weekend?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, Auburn's not good.
No. Auburn's not
made
good.
Them look good, though.
And you struggled like hell. Now, could that have been one of those lightning in a bottle games, just captured it, there at home? Maybe. But you shouldn't look that bad. You should not look completely inept on offense, as Georgia does at times. That running game, there's a major problem.
Yes.
For years, Georgia has been able to lean on when the quarterback's not doing well, we can just pound it down your throat. The best running back on this team is Brock Bowers, and it's not close.
You're not wrong. I've yet to hear one incorrect statement come out of your mouth.
The defense is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The offense is a problem. Now, defense, I will leave it up to them. They'll figure it out. You'll plug the holes, whatever. Okay.
Running quarterbacks are annihilating you.
Yes, they are.
And here's the scary part of that. If you were to make it to the CFP, let's just go down the list, shall we? J.J. McCarthy, he's pretty mobile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Travis, he's pretty mobile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Penix, he's Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You better really hope it's Quinn Ewers, and he's mobile enough. He's Peyton Thorne mobile.
The offense is just maddening.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why you did this again, but stop saddling me with Mike and Bobo, okay?
Bobo! It's Mike Bobo!
Look, the criticism over the years that Mark Richt took, we were wrong. We should not have called it Richting. It was Boboing.
Bobo!
Because his play calling is just absolutely maddening.
Every time they flashed the screen up to him, I would look at Amy and go, "Hey, it's Bobo!"
Yeah.
And she couldn't figure out why I did that, because I know that sound gets in your ear and starts like just flicking your brain, and I think it's hilarious.
I can't do it. I just cannot do it with him. I've never been able to do it with him, and now, I mean, he's why you brought him back, I will never understand.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that myself.
I mean, it'd be like South Carolina looking at go, hey, we should hire that Muschamp guy again. That went well.
That was fun.
We should do that.
That'd be like Florida State calling Willie Taggart and being like, reunited and it feels so good.
Why would you do that? But anyway, Georgia was the loser of the weekend for me because you can't look like that against a team that's at the bottom of your conference and expect to keep getting the flowers, right?
Well, yours was on my list, but it was not number one. My number one is the Cincinnati Bengals. That is as stock down as it can get because you're broken. And I'm not sure that it doesn't have every bit as much to do with Zach Taylor as it does Joe Burrow, and I'm not sure it doesn't have as much to do with your offensive line as it does the first two things I just said. You were talking about the defense. The defense is actually not that bad. Mm-hmm. You're just on the field a lot, and nobody's scared of Burrow. And at this point, you got a one-legged man, and he's coming to a arse-kicking contest, and he's not doing it so hot. I think you're to the point of you have to sit Joe Burrow down for his own good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think a two-legged Jake Browning is better than what you're getting out of Joe Burrow right now. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know he's trying to be a gamer. You don't have it. You don't have it, and teams are figuring it out, and it's not going to get easier anytime soon. You do what I said in the first hour. You sit him down for 2 weeks. You give him the bye week, and then hopefully 4 weeks from now, basically, he is healed enough to make a run at the end of the year. Because as this is currently constituted, the year's over.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest stock up of the weekend is one that we have not talked about yet. And, humility is my greatest ability. I'm a humble man. I was right on Sam Howell. Nana, nana, boo-boo, stick your head and doo-doo.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Bet you wish you drafted Sam Howell instead of Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett was bad. Oh, he got hurt. I'm going to say this, and I swear to God I mean it. I'm not sure that's not the best thing that could have happened for the Pittsburgh Steelers because Kenny Pickett looked Desmond Ridder bad. You know, we never want anybody to get hurt. It was getting to the point of I'm not sure. I called he was going to get hurt in the second quarter. And he can't even protect himself. He looks horrific. Malik Willis, irrelevant. Desmond Ridder, awful. Sam Howell, dog. Just like I told you, I don't care how tall he is. If you watched the film, it was not hard to figure out. Washington has a franchise quarterback, and they got a defense that's not bad. Does it have its moments? Sure. You give that team a year, I think they're going to be a thorn in your heel before this year is over. They should have beaten the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. If Ron Rivera doesn't, for the stupidest reason I've ever heard, not go for 2. Oh, they were tired.
We're tired.
Stop talking and take your sunglasses off. You're inside. Sorry.
Wait a minute. You don't say that to Dion.
I don't say it to myself either. You know why? Because we're hip.
Oh,
Ron Rivera.
are you?
Ron Rivera, not so much. Listen here, white New Balances. I don't think you can pull that one off.
That's funny. Anyhow,
I'm hipper than you and Ron Rivera.
There's no doubt.
In
There's
droves.
no doubt. Yeah, but I mean, saying you're hipper than I am is like, I don't know, saying that you're better at sports than B. Arthur. Come on.
I love that you went full ad-libs there. It just, I don't know how I'm going to finish this, but let's go. Boom, did it.
Yep. That's how it goes. Stock up for the weekend. I'm going to go with Dion. The Colorado Buffaloes. Oh, yeah, we did. We took some enjoyment in that, right? We did. When they got spanked by Oregon, we went, yeah, we did that, do the $1 Million Man laugh. We did that. Sure. And then this past weekend, you played USC, and you made a game out of it in the end. Had a chance to win the game. You took a top 5 team all the way to the wire. And now, look, you're right back in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We all went, oh, they didn't look like they belonged against the top 5 team. And then they came out against the top 5 team and went, oh, not only do they belong, but they can hang.
And they found an absolute dog on the outside. That freshman receiver, shoe buddy.
Edwards? Is that who you're talking about?
No, Edwards is the running back. I can't think of the kid's name off the top of my head. Miller. He is, him, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horton Jr., yeah, I'm telling you, Colorado's going to be a headache.
Mm-hmm.
That team's going to go to a bowl, and they're going to beat somebody that will blow your mind.
Yep.
I'm looking at that schedule. Arizona State, Stanford, UCLA, those 3 should be easy. I'm staring at Oregon State, Washington State, and Utah. 2 of those 3 are on the road. You better not sleepwalk through that. Because you all 3 of you have Pac-12 title aspirations. They can derail that.
Yeah.
Because all but one of you are sitting on a loss.
I mean, there's no chance anybody's sleeping on this team now.
I don't know. The defense figured something out against Caleb Williams.
That's what I'm saying.
They did the same thing Zach Wilson did. You flipped a switch. I don't know where it came from, and I don't know what took so long. But I got to give it to Dion.
But you were getting keistered, right? I mean, you were just getting railed for the first half of that ball game. And then you came out and you made it a game. And I got to give you your due on that one. So Colorado, big stock up on the weekend. Now, I have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No!
Yes, because I do not know what in the hell is happening right now.
Oh, I can answer.
Please.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. He makes Nathaniel Hackett look like Bill Walsh. That is the worst offense I have ever seen. When who only watch your team because my wife cheers for you, that's how irrelevant you are in the bigger scheme of things. When I can call out your play call, I guarantee you the guy that's been studying you for a week can do it. It's a joke. And Kenny Pickett is bad. You missed.
Yep.
The quicker you figure that out, the less likely you are to be the Chicago Bears, the New York Jets, the New England Patriots. Figure it out. He ain't the guy. Yeah. I'm not telling you Mitch Trubisky is, but I can tell you definitively, Kenny Pickett ain't.
Right. 30-6. That was probably the score that was the score that I looked at yesterday, and I went, okay, we're just doing drugs today.
I watched a lot of it, and that leads me to you took 2 right there, right?
Yes.
Okay. That leads me to my next stock up. The Houston Texans. You want to talk about a team that's going to surge the power rankings this week? Look, Texan fans, those of you that told me I was wrong, I will look at you now as a humbleman and say I was wrong. Because C.J. Stroud, yes, he has his deficiencies, and they're going to catch up to him. I don't think he'll ever be an elite quarterback, but he could be in the Hall of Very Good.
Mm-hmm.
And with that defense doing what it's doing, DeMeco Ryans, yep. You will beat the tar out of bad teams. Now, am I overly impressed with either of your victories? Not really. I don't think Jacksonville's great, and I know Pittsburgh's not.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first step in getting better. You have to be able to put your foot on the throat of bad teams. You did it at Pittsburgh. They were never in it. Never in it. I never doubted for a second. Mm-hmm. From the first drive on, Houston's winning this game. I live bet that aggressively. The entire game going, you can't put this number high enough because I don't think Pittsburgh get over the 50-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll admit, I'm a humbleman. I'll admit when I was wrong. And I was wrong on the Houston Texans. I still don't think you're great, but you're in a division that's not great.
Yep.
And to say you could win it is not as insane as I once said it was.
All right, next.
Well, my name's on the door, so I'm going to cheat because I'm the dirtiest player in the game, and I like to cheat. I'm taking Michigan and Texas.
Okay.
Because you did what Georgia couldn't do, what Penn State couldn't do, what Washington couldn't do, what USC couldn't do. You are a CFP contender. I think you are a legit national title contender. And yes, Kansas, Kansas was close for 3 quarters. For 3 quarters of that game, I was right. And then Lance Leipold, who I think is a great coach. He needs the flowers here of he has done things at Kansas that will blow your mind. He doesn't have the dudes. They had I want to say it was a 4th and 1 on their own 40, 45-yard line, somewhere in there. And he went, I have to go for this. Because if I put this defense back on the field, they're going to go down and score, and they'll keep doing it because we're dead. You did. They failed. Texas went down, scored again.
Mm-hmm.
That Texas team is not to be trifled with. Michigan is not to be trifled with. The next team that scores 10 points will be the first team that scores 10 points. First team in NCAA football history to score 30-plus points and allow less than 10 5 weeks in a row.
Wow.
First time it's ever happened.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
very, very, very good.
All right, I got 2 picks left, and I'm going to end this with 2 stock ups. My first one is the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody, other than Bills fans, obviously, but not many gave you your due going into this game. We all got snaked. Those of us who were doubting got snaked by that 70-20 beatdown that the Dolphins put on the Broncos last week.
I didn't.
And the Buffalo Bills came out and just dogged the Miami Dolphins.
I did not see that coming, though.
No, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
I took Buffalo to cover. I thought they'd win about a field goal game.
Right.
And for a quarter and a half, I looked right. And then Buffalo went,
Nope.
Listen, we're tired of playing with you, and this is going to hurt.
They scored 8 times on their first 9 possessions of the game. That does not include the kneel down at halftime. So full possessions, they scored 8 out of 9 times in this game. Imposed their will, and they're a legitimate threat. and they were before. But I feel like we had all forgotten that. We'd played like that loss to the Jets was the end of their season. That was the end of the Jets season, not the Bills season. And then my last stock up is, I'm going full homer. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because honestly, you just took control of the NFC South, and the way all these other teams look, you probably are going to win this division. As much as I don't want you to. That team, they're playing good enough defense, and they're playing efficient enough offense.
Wait, can I do it?
Please.
Fire them cannons, by golly, put more powder in them things. Woo! Woo! Baker Mayfield and the NFC South Division Champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The only thing I could hope for at this point is that they get out to a big lead and then blow it down the stretch. That's what I'm hoping for, because we win this division again, and I'm stuck with Todd Bowles all over again.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody whose team is now in the catbird seat to go back to the playoffs that is so unbelievably sad about it.
I don't like it.
You shouldn't like it, because you're still not good.
No, but we're good enough to win this poopy division.
He went full poopy, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, dirtiest player in the game. I'm gonna cheat again. Two bad teams that had bad weekends.
All right.
The New England Patriots and the Chicago Bears. New England, I didn't know that your offense could hit new lows, but you did. But wait, there's more. Chicago Bears, 28-7 lead. Everybody popping champagne. Hey, we got our first win. Oops.
Ruh-roh.
Oopsie poopsie. Second worst team in the NFL comes back from 28-7 down to beat you because Justin Fields is as bad as advertised. But he threw for 325 yards. Yep, and then he almost single-handedly beat you by himself. Congratulations. That's what you got. Awesome. Oh, and that receiver that you traded for, you gave up the first pick in the second round, and we all sat back and $1 Billion Man laughed at you. Yet now you won't even let him in the building.
Mm-hmm. Told him stay home.
Dysfunction to the highest degree. But if you want a rose-colored glasses for Chicago, there's a great chance you're going to have the first and second pick of the draft, and you can screw both them up too. Chicago Bears football coming at ya.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year, you get the latest iPhone every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate. The best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app? Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on an Overreaction Monday.
You know what I love about breakfast tacos?
What's that?
They keep all day.
Ah.
So if you get a little peckish in the 2 o'clock hour, just cram down a breakfast taco. It's like morning all over again.
There you go. It's like restarting the day. You feel good about that? Because I damn sure don't want to restart my day. Look.
No, I'm good.
I've been here a while. I'm good.
I'm on a new diet that's literally just, hey, eat all the meat you want to.
Yeah.
You can be a vegetarian's worst nightmare. Sweet. My blood pressure's not going to love it.
I was going to say, just watch that cholesterol.
Yeah,
and that salt.
I keep watching. So you're telling me I can eat bacon with every meal? That
don't do that.
Feels like an error in judgment.
It is an error in judgment.
Well, I'm not doing it.
Good. I'm glad you're not, because I've seen me do it. I went, oh, all the meats? Sweet. Bacon palooza.
I love bacon, but it gives me heartburn. So I can only, I'm once a week at best.
2 years later, heart attack. That's how that happens.
Infarction.
So watch the salt and the cholesterol, gang.
I eat a lot of lean meats for some reason,
which is good.
I'm making vegetable soup tonight with ground turkey.
Okay. All right. So yesterday we almost saw 2 undefeated teams lose. We did see the Miami Dolphins lose, and the Philadelphia Eagles came pretty close. Washington Commanders put a little scare into the Philadelphia Eagles. And actually, if Ron Rivera had, where's Riverboat Ron?
Go for 2.
Right.
That makes
Why would you not
zero
go for 2?
sense. You have them on the ropes.
You have the momentum. You've been driving down the field. I mean, Sam Howell was really, really cerebral on that last drive.
Sam Howell was fantastic yesterday. Sam Howell was fantastic. You have a franchise quarterback if you're Washington. Now, the thing that, and this, depending on who you are and how you feel about this team, what I'm getting ready to say could be a positive or could be a negative. You got 3 winnable games in a row. I mean, just look at how differently we're looking at the schedule now than we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got killed by the Bills, but you had every opportunity to beat the Eagles. Now you go Bears in what will be, without a doubt, the most unwatchable Thursday night game ever. Have you seen the promo for it?
No.
Amazon did their little teaser trailer. It's like, the Washington Commanders, the Chicago Bears. Please watch. Just okay. We have advertisers that get real angry if like 6 of you watch this game, and we know you don't want to, but hey, we're doing stuff. We'll show you pictures of Taylor Swift. She won't be here because she has better stuff to do, but we will. You should too.
I did not pick up on that.
I went full Mr. Rogers of, you should be a neighbor too, because it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're Washington, you've got you need to fix the offensive line because you do have issues there. But Sam Howell stepping up the pocket, doing a lot of very veteran things. That's your quarterback. All right, is he going to have clunky games? Sure, especially against the Buffalo Bills when you cannot keep him clean.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Bieniemy progressed, saw what didn't work, and attacked that Philadelphia Eagles secondary. And it worked. By the way, Antonio Gibson should never be on an NFL football field again. He fumbles every single time he walks onto a football field.
Mm-hmm.
And then misses a block that got Sam Howell killed. I don't know how bad Chris Rodriguez would have to be, but he's better than that.
Yep.
I promise.
Yep.
Washington is going to be a headache. You need to win these next three. You got a long layoff between the Bears and the Falcons. It's on the road, but Atlanta doesn't scare you.
Mm-hmm.
They Bijan Robinson well. They don't do anything else well. Then you go get one with the Giants. You're sitting at 5-2 before your schedule really cranks up. And even then, you got one with the Patriots, one with the Giants, one with the Rams, one with the Jets. Those are all winnable games.
Mm-hmm.
And you showed yesterday you can contend and potentially beat a team that's better than you. I won't be shocked if the Washington Commanders make the playoffs. That team is better than you think.
Mm-hmm. I will be shocked. But I'm a detractor.
All right. So you're a detractor. I get it. Yeah. Sam Howell. You love Sam Howell, but you hate everything else. I get it. Who are the 7 teams that you think make the playoffs over them? All right. I'll give you the easy ones.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit win in the North.
Mm-hmm.
Your Buccaneers win in the South.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's never going to stop being funny.
Let's do it.
The 49ers, the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Where's 7?
Over Washington? I would.
New Orleans, who just got annihilated by you in their house.
Yeah, maybe fully healthy. I would go with them over Washington.
I'm not so sure I would.
Yeah.
By the way, I still think New Orleans is the best team in that division, and Baker's going to do Baker things, and they're going to win the division.
100%.
I was really being a jerk more than anything because I don't believe in your Bucks at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in Green Bay really at all. Minnesota is terrible. The Bears are terrible. The Giants are terrible. The Cardinals, they're spunky. The Rams, they're spunky. But there's not much else there. The Panthers are terrible, and the Falcons are terrible. Washington could easily make the playoffs. You need to win. You need to win the games that you're supposed to win, and then beat one team you're not supposed to, and you will be in the playoffs in the NFC. Because I'm not sure 9-8 doesn't make it in the NFC.
It very well could,
and they're going to get to 9-8,
and you could be right there in that group. And you mentioned all of them: New Orleans, Green Bay, the Los Angeles Rams. I believe are going to be in this discussion. That offense is just too good, and I think they're going to win some games.
You are so getting duped by the Rams.
Yeah.
I watched more of that game than I wanted to, and I swear to you, first of all, you should have let Anthony Richardson, who I'm not actually sure can throw a completion in the NFL, that's not a complete accident. You almost let them come back from 23-0 down to beat you, and they should have. Anthony Richardson just totally piddled in his pants and gave you the ball back. You got it in overtime, went down and scored because they forgot Puka Nacua was on the field, which is hard for me to wrap my brain around. Not a lot to be scared of there.
It's the same way people forget that Travis Kelce's on the field or Tyreek Hill's on the field. You just forgot. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cooper Kupp, who's he? I never heard of him.
Yeah, a lot of people keep saying that they're going to be so dynamic when he comes back. You do realize those two play the exact same position, right?
Yes.
That's going to be way more problematic than people think.
You'll have to move Puka to the outside or something.
And that takes away, I think, everything he does.
Maybe.
Because you've got this kid that is sitting down in the middle of defenses and doing a phenomenal job. I've got a great rapport with Stafford. Now you're going to put him on the outside and let somebody else do that? Okay. I mean, I don't know what the solution is. I don't
think you can ask Cooper to do it.
No. I don't claim to know what the solution is. I just think it's going to be a little clunky.
Yeah.
But I'll say it again. I think the Washington Commanders are going to be one of the 7 playoff teams in the NFC. And I think they're a team that by the end of the year, when Sam Howell has all of the starts and all of the reps under his belt, they're going to be a team that you don't want to play. And Brian Robinson is a dog, as is Terry McLaurin. He draws a bad matchup and still has a phenomenal game. Let's go.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
High pressure dominating our weather this week. Sunny and warm out there this afternoon. Temperatures into low part of the 80s. Clear skies here tonight. Patchy late night fog, low to mid 50s. Patchy morning fog Tuesday, Wednesday. Otherwise, more sunshine and remaining warm. Highs up around 80 degrees both afternoons. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday with a high near 80. Mostly cloudy, slightly cooler Friday with a slight chance of showers, mid 70s. I'm Ken Boone with the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's battle for the belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays. Back in the Sportsocracy, and it is time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crime!
Don't do crimes indeed. And why don't you start us off?
My story comes from the lovely state of Tennessee, and it's about a woman, Monica Johnson Markwork. She's 51. She lives in Cordova, which is a suburb of Memphis. She had a door-to-door salesman come to her front door. And she responded in a very strange way. She shot him through the door.
Oh, my gosh.
When asked, she denied shooting through the door. She said that she went upstairs and hid in a crawl space because her son, who is currently incarcerated, had a gang hit put out on him, and she thought it had affected her as well. Ooh. So she shot a Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman, I'm assuming, or a Jehovah's Witness, or one of the random things that shows up at your door, because she thought it was a gang-related hit. She then told him that she didn't actually fire a gun. She went upstairs and hid. Where do you think they found the gun? In the crawl space where she was hiding. You apparently are as bad a criminal as your son is, because he obviously got caught too. and you're not very good at this. She was arrested on a charge of felony aggravated assault. She was released on $4,000 bond and has a court date set for October the 13th. Don't shoot random people at your door. Hitmen don't ring the doorbell. Dum-dum. Just throwing that out there. Like, wow. if you ever want to know, hey, is it a hitman? The only one I've ever known in my life that did that was Mary Kay Letourneau. So, she was not a hitman. She was a moron.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
If you had that reference on your bingo card today, you got a bingo.
Good. We're going to leave it there for today because, computers suck. So you
and that computer, man.
We've been having problems.
You're going to take that
morning.
thing out in the field and feels good to be a gangster playing in the background, beating it with a baseball bat.
No doubt about it. Since I got here at 4 a.m. today, this computer has been the bane of my existence.
Tank has just had this roaming, furrowed brow at his computer since I got here.
Yeah.
I thought he was upset with me for a minute. I'm like, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't even go to Charlotte with you.
Yeah, we're not
selling a house. Let's go.
We're not having good times and great oldies. That's not happening right here. We do have a lot, though, to uncover here over the next 20 minutes of the program here. Overreaction Monday from what took place in the NFL yesterday. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bad.
Gosh.
Bad. Your offense is awful. Your line is terrible. You had a bunch of injuries yesterday. And Mike Tomlin looks like a man without answers.
Mm-hmm.
Him speaking to the media, it just looked like he wanted to say, I don't know.
What kind of answers could you give? I've got draft capital wrapped up into a quarterback who can't throw.
Yeah,
consistently.
Stop drafting mediocre quarterbacks in the first round.
I got a first-round draft pick wrapped up into a running back who can't fall forward. And it's getting worse by the day, I think. Something's wrong with this team. They just, and I don't know where you start. You just blow it all up. But you're not a blow-it-up franchise. That's not what Pittsburgh does.
Well, I mean, look, Pittsburgh is one of those teams that you look at and go, if you put really a competent quarterback on that team, it would change a lot. But Kenny Pickett's not. I told you that coming out. He had been overinflated by being the oldest player on the field virtually every time he stepped on it, and now the speed of the NFL is just killing him. The receivers are frustrated. The running game is a joke because nobody is scared of him beating them deep. And it's sad because you got a defense that's really pretty good that got just carved to pieces yesterday by C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins, in spite of the fact that it should have been Tank Dell. Hey, C.J., Tank Dell, okay? He's on Nico. I'm on Tank. I see the irony in that because he is Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Throw him the ball. Good things happen when you throw him the ball.
On the flip side of that, you got the Houston Texans, who C.J. Stroud is 4 games in. It's hard to deny that he looks really good for a rookie quarterback.
If you had told me that the Houston Texans would beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers in back-to-back weeks by a combined score of 67-23, I would have had you drug tested immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good chance to get another win this week, playing the Atlanta Falcons. You got one with the Saints and the Bucks and the Panthers and the Bengals and the Cardinals and the Broncos and the Jets. Don't look now, but the Houston Texans very easily could win the AFC South. It would surprise me in the least.
Really?
Do I think they're the best team in that division? No. Do I think C.J. Stroud is going to be a headache for a lot of the teams I just said? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That offense is way better than I thought it would be. Look, I said on draft night, I think the Houston Texans just gave away the number 2 pick in a much better draft next year. I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah, I thought that was a no-doubter. I thought Pittsburgh, Houston this week was the free space on the board. This was the survivor pick of the week, right? I was reading all up onto the, Houston doesn't even have an offensive line anymore.
Didn't matter.
And it didn't matter. The NFL's so maddening sometimes.
Yeah. Can be.
But are we overreacting to C.J. Stroud?
No. Look, the kid is off to an incredible start to his career.
And we've seen other quarterbacks have incredible starts.
Now,
maybe not have the greatest of careers.
Just understand the flashy stats don't 100% tell the story, because there have been some very badly missed throws. But when you give him time and opportunity, he can cut you apart. I don't think it's going to take that long before teams figure out, hey, blitz him really aggressively. I don't know why Pittsburgh didn't do that yesterday, but they didn't. T.J. Watt didn't get home regularly, and he picked you apart.
Yep.
So, I mean, good for C.J. Stroud. He is light years ahead of where I thought he would be 4 games in.
Kenny Pickett went down yesterday, so Mitch Trubisky is going to be coming back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, apparently. I don't see much that they can do to fix things now.
No.
In the short term.
No, it's look, Pittsburgh's in bad shape, especially when you look at Baltimore, who even beat up is still the best team in that division.
Yep.
And by the way, I want to go on this little tirade too. You know, we always say that the most popular player in every city is the backup quarterback. Hey, how'd that Dorian Thompson-Robinson thing go? Did you enjoy that? Yeah. You paid $250 million for Deshaun Watson for a reason. Whew, he was awful. Awful. The preseason, and I fell for it. I did. I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I played him in DraftKings. You always have to remember, running quarterbacks in the preseason look better than they are. Then you get away from the vanilla defenses, and you see who they really are.
Yep. My team and the New Orleans Saints, they had the battle for the NFC South yesterday. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see my team winning that game handily.
I didn't either.
Yesterday. And I get that.
Are you the worst
Derek
3-0 team in NFL history?
I don't know. Maybe. That's hard to say.
It's hard to quantify it. I know that. And just Tampa is one of those teams that, you play the Lions this week, and that has bad news bears written all over it. You're one-dimensional. You go as Baker Mayfield goes. Hey, he had a good game yesterday.
He did.
He was good, not great. And that's all you needed him to be, because the Saints couldn't do anything. And I am getting big boy, realistically, legitimately concerned about the Saints.
No, you should.
That offense looks terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. It's very anemic, and the defense doesn't look great either. And so you got a problem.
You've got a get-right spot of this schedule, though. The next month, they play at the Patriots, at the Texans, Jaguars, at the Colts, and the Bears. Yeah, a lot of those are on the road, but 4 of those 5 teams are not good, and I'll let you figure out which one's which.
And they turn it around. They're not. I mean, you're not by any means out of a race this early.
No, and even then you go Falcons, Panthers, Giants, Rams. Oh my Lord!
And I did not expect Tampa to be in this situation, but it seems to be working okay.
I need you to mentally really buy into the Bucs so Todd Bowles can let you down. Because right now he's winning because you want to lose. So I need you to want to win, and as soon as you and Bucs Nation do that, he will piddle in your punch bowl.
It's not going to happen.
That's how he works.
Yeah, it's not going to happen unless you can roll off like 7 wins in a row here, and then we're really talking about something. But until that happens, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the real Baker Mayfield to show up, the real Todd Bowles to show up.
I have a funny feeling you're going to see that against the Detroit Lions this week.
I think you will. Every good team they play, they will show you who they are. Every iffy team they play, they're good enough to win that game. And I told you that in the offseason, that this team was not completely bereft of talent. They still have a lot of talent on the team. It's just how they're led. And we can beat bad teams. The problem is there's 3 of those in our division now.
Yeah, which takes me to I think it's time to start entertaining the idea that you may have made a mistake.
With Frank or Bryce?
Both. This team's not even competitive. I mean, your Chicago Bears bad.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to talk about it because Bryce Young's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
He's the worst of the rookies that I've seen, and I'm including Aiden O'Connell and Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Is it because of his talent or lack thereof right now, or is it because of the situation that he's in?
It's not the former. I'll go there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch. Obviously, you were at this game, so you watched much more of it than I did.
Yeah, and
there is nothing that strikes me as a cognitive, coherent offense.
Mm-mm.
This looks like you have dropped a really talented kid into a really bad situation, and I put a lot of this right at the feet of Frank Reich.
Mm-hmm.
You, Adam Thielen, just fine, throwing little dump-offs. That's not an offense. This is not. You can do it all you want to. You can't stop the run. Kirk Cousins got not anything he wanted, but he got anything to Justin Jefferson he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You shut down T.J. Hawkinson. Woo. You want your participation trophy? There it is. They had two legitimate weapons. You shut one of them down.
Mm-hmm.
You had a pick six. You scored 6 points outside of that. The offense is not good, and there is a great possibility that you're going to have handed a top 3 pick to the Chicago Bears.
Possibly. Bryce can only be as good as what's protected for him. And he has a complete and utter, wide open, paid for New York City subway turnstile in front of him. There's not a single guy on that team that can hold the block.
No, and this is something that you're going to hear me say a lot heading into this next draft season, because I think you're going to have a couple teams that have top 5 picks that already have quarterbacks. Be very cautious trading up for the quarterback. I thought Bryce Young had generational talent, not generational size. The problem is that he went to a team that was a work in progress. So now the best asset that you had to build this team around him is going to the Chicago Bears. I'm not sure that you can sustain 2 years of what's happening right now. And if I'm a free agent wide receiver or a free agent tight end or a free agent offensive lineman, I have no interest in playing with this.
Mm-hmm.
None. I don't want to do this. So we learned this lesson time and time again. I didn't think Carolina was going to be bad enough to get a franchise quarterback, so you made the move. You're just not good enough to have done that. And you see what DJ Moore did yesterday with Justin Fields. Man, it'd be awful great if you hadn't had to give him up, wouldn't it?
Yep.
It'd be nice to have that little outlet piece. Well, that's what they wanted. Did they have any other buyers? No.
Mm-hmm.
You got fleeced by the Chicago Bears. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's true. You got fleeced by the Chicago Bears. I said it at the time. I feel like you gave up a lot. I can't believe the Bears got that. And right now you're seeing why. It's not Bryce. It's because he does not have legitimate protection, legitimate weapons, and the defense is on the field a lot because you're just turning around and going 3 and out over and over and over and over and over again. It's the danger of jumping in line. That's what I always call it. You think you're a B plus, you're really a C minus, and you jumped in line, and now you're just a C. You have a slightly better quarterback than you had before, but there's nothing around him.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break, and when we come back, Jeremy's going to be mad. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Attention! It's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, Advanced Regenerative Medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
The last thing you need on the way to the game is a flat tire. Ensure that you'll make the game on time with new tires from Black Mountain Tire Connection. With 22 years of experience serving the East Asheville area, Black Mountain Tire Connection offers all major tire brands. Black Mountain Tire Connection keeps you running with tire and auto service, including alignments, brakes, state inspections, oil changes, and minor repairs. Schedule service now at blackmountaintire.com.
Evelyn Charities is moving. Come by their current location at 50 Westgate Shopping Center for their moving sale. October 9th through the 13th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Items for sale include a boardroom table with 10 chairs, a leather couch, end tables, lamps, desks, office chairs, bookshelves, and more. Price to sell. First come, first serve. Support Evelyn Charities and get great deals on items for your office during the moving sale. Westgate Shopping Center, October 9th through 13th. Items must be